What's up, guys? Mike here, and today we are going to be going through every single one of the tracks in 150cc in time trial mode. First of all, I should be actually saying we are back with another part of Mario Kart Deluxe. This is actually going to be part of the Let's Play. We are live right now on YouTube Gaming, Twitch, and Beam at the same time, though. So if you're on Twitch and Beam, though, definitely come over to YouTube and YouTube Gaming, though, where we have a ton of content as well on the channel, as well as other live streams, though. But today I really won't be paying attention to chat through all this, but I'm going to be giving you guys all my tips and tricks on how to conquer every single track at 150cc, and we're unlocking the golden tires today. I will be checking the chat like throughout, though, but for the most part I'm going to be not really looking at the chat too much. I'm going to be giving you guys my thoughts and opinions on how to best pursue each track, though, in order to beat the Staff Ghost on 150cc and obtain the golden tires. Before we get started, though, I would like to send a special shout out to Smith Jr. Black Luigi in the chat room as well, though, because he is the one who came up with this amazing new layout. As you can see, hold on, let me move this over just a little bit. There we go. But yeah, Smith Jr. came up with a really good layout, though. This actually is very nice. I am actually really looking forward to bringing this into the future with me as well, though. This is going to be my new layout, though, for all my streams and Let's Plays. Smith actually did a different one for the streams as well, though, so I can have the donations and the sub count at a nice clean looking thing, though. So go check out Smith Jr., though. He does the finest of work. But I will give a quick shout out to the chat room before we get started, though. We got Super Games in here. We got Smith Jr., we got CJ Destroyer, we got Taco Shack, we got Rafael Sambria, much appreciated. We got 112. Okay, actually, it's a good thing I did this. I forgot to add my gameplay. I am actually kind of an idiot, though. We actually forgot to add the gameplay, though, but luckily it was just me going through the menus, though. So, hold on, you guys are actually going to have to give me uno momento as we get through this, put that there. Yo, we have Kevin Ali in the chat room, but alright. So, in terms of actually tackling 150cc with all the Staff Ghosts, this is the combination I will be using for the 48 tracks. I am going to be using Shy Guy with the P-Wing, the Slick Tires, and the Bowser Kite. Reason being, he has a good amount of speed and acceleration as well as a really good amount of handling. If we tried this with my Mii character doesn't quite handle it just as much. But, yeah, again, for those watching right now live on YouTube, this is going to be part of my Let's Play, though, so I am going to not really be looking at the chat room too much. I will be answering questions, though, throughout, though, if you guys have any questions about each of the tracks as well, though. I am going to be teaching you guys every single track, though, here on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, though, and giving you my best way of going through the tracks. So we're going to start off with Mario Kart Stadium, though. As you can see, I have not touched time trials whatsoever. But if you press the X button, you can actually switch it over to 200cc, though, but it won't really unlock you anything. I will be tackling these. I don't know if you guys want me to do a separate live stream for this, but if you guys want to see me tackle all the time trial ghosts in 200cc, definitely let me know, though. But for now, we are going to be racing against Nin Star Chris with 153 and 191, though. Also, I should probably put my dinner on the floor. Alright, though, so Mario Kart Stadium, this is your basic layout. You know, honestly, out of all the Mushroom Cup tracks, though, this is pretty much the best first introduction to a Mario Kart game. So yeah, as you can see, though, the track's not too crazy, though. I'm going to show you two of my favorite mushroom shortcuts. As you can see, there's a ramp right there on the left that we can take a mushroom with. But honestly, that's kind of a waste for me, honestly. I don't really feel like that's really a necessary shortcut. So I'm going to show you the best place where I prefer to use my mushrooms, though. Honestly, your optimal spot for using a mushroom is coming up right here, though. If you take a drift, use that mushroom to glide right through the shortcut like that, though. That is honestly going to knock you off the best amount of time, though. But if you want a good secondary spot, right over here as you're conquering this turn, right over here, that is another good spot to use a mushroom. But keep in mind, though, you only have 3 mushrooms in time trial, so I am going to only be using 3 mushrooms. I am going to be pretty much throughout this entire thing just teaching you guys the best way to go through all these tracks though. I'm actually not going to use the mushroom here because we still have one more lap though. But as you can see, we're leaving that Mario clone right in the dust though. That Mario clone is not going anywhere. So yeah, we're winning by 3 seconds right now though, but honestly, as of right now, I am not going to really worry about it. Again though, making sure to take those inner edges is very much important because taking those inner edges, you are going to be able to go ahead and tackle the turns a lot faster than your opponents. Taking the outside edges of turns is pretty much just giving your opponent the gracious invitation to pass you. So as you can see though, the struggle is not real right now though. Shy Guy tackled that like a pro though. So we are now done with Mario Kart Stadium. I'm going to just upload all my ghost times as well though as we're going through this. Again, all this is completely unedited. I'm going to just leave this as it is on YouTube. So if you're looking for a specific track when this is uploaded to YouTube, feel free to jump around the video to find the track that you're looking for help in. But we are going to be going to Waterpark. We have Baby Luigi with Nin Star Massim at 202-186. I see my girlfriend in the chat though as well though right now, but alright, we are here on Waterpark. So Waterpark, honestly, it's okay to go a little bit of the outside because collecting 10 coins is also essential for beating the time trial ghost. But right over here though, as much as you can easily get another boost from hitting the submarine as well though, that is honestly not a big deal though. There's only one major mushroom shortcut in this level, and that's right here to use the mushroom right there to go ahead and cut through the teacups over there, or whatever you want to call those. Honestly, also if you can get on top of the little thing over there at the end to get those 3 coins, that's also ideal though. But once you have 10 coins, you're pretty much good to go. You're more than welcome to just keep going on the inside edges. As you can see though, we're making easy work of this Baby Luigi ghost. So yeah, right now the best thing to do is to definitely go on the inside of the turns right now. Honestly though, we're already making pretty good progress though. As you can see, we're already beating this ghost by 5 seconds though. We're cleaning shot with this guy. Honestly though, as long as you're taking the inside of edges and everything, you are pretty good though with all that. Alright though, we are going to just keep on going around here. Tackle those edges as easy as possible. Keep on going in like this. Take that last mushroom to boost through here with a little bit of drifting. Take this. And there we go. 112 in the chat room asks, hey Mike, could you check all the ghost cart combinations before racing them? As you can see, as we finish the races, you're actually going to see all the cart combinations for each of the ghosts as we finish the races as well though. So as you can see though, we really annihilated this guy. This guy was using a Mr. Scooty, roller tires, and the super glider. So yeah, I won't be showing off the cart combinations before the races because you will be able to see them at the end of each race though. That's okay though. That's a legitimate question though. I understand that everyone wants to be able to see all of the different cart combinations of all the different ghosts, so that way you guys know what you're up against. That's a very viable question though. Again though, we could press the X button and also see it as well though, and see the actual lap times as well though. But we have Nin Star Fausti with the Teddy Buggy, wood tires, and the Peach Parasol over here at Sweet Canyon. Also shout out to Shout Clamox 7 on Beam right now. Right now we are actually doing this live right now on YouTube Gaming as well though. I am giving my guide on how to beat all the courses in 150cc. Now Sweet Canyon has a lot of good mushroom shortcuts. We can cut through this icing right over there. Also, thank you for the follow, Shout Clamor. Nice. As you can see, though, we could have easily taken a little bit of the mushroom boost through the chocolate frosting, though. But for this level, it actually pays to do both routes, though, because both routes actually give a good amount of coins. We could use a mushroom right here on the chocolate frosting as well, though. But in order to tackle 150cc, though, the optimal shortcut for this is to actually use a good amount of drift and use the mushroom right through that donut. That is your best bet and the optimal spot to use a mushroom, in my opinion, for Sweet Sweet Canyon. And again, it also pays to take the outside corners and get up to 10 coins, though. But once you have 10 coins, though, you really don't have to really worry about things too much. You are pretty much good to go. So as you can see, we're going to go take the blue path now in order to get that 10th coin, though. We are good to go, though. Honestly, though, honestly, most of the standard ghosts here aren't really too much of an issue, though. But again, we're going to take that outside drift, get that mushroom right through the donut, and we are good to go. We are winning by 3 seconds right now. Alright, so we are just going to keep on going through, though, tackle those edges as nice as possible. Again, if you keep your lines pretty solid and close to the edge, though, you really shouldn't even have a problem. Again, though, all you need to do is beat the regular ghost, though. I know that once you beat the regular ghost, there's also expert ghosts as well, though, for 150cc. And again, if you guys do want me to do 200cc, definitely let me know in the chat room as well, though. Or in the comment section once this is officially uploaded to YouTube. And Twitch and Beam as well, though. But again, though, we won by 5 seconds, though. Again, I think that Shy Guy has a really good amount of speed and acceleration, and he has a really nice amount of hand drill, which makes him one of the best candidates for 200cc. Alright, and now we are going to be tackling the final track of the Mushroom Cup, being Thwomp Ruins. I forgot to delete this one, though. I actually did beat this one already, but you know what? You know what? I am actually going to race my Mii character. I am actually going to race the I am actually going to race my Mii character, though, and I'm going to show you why my Shy Guy combination is actually better than my Mii character. I don't know if I'll beat it, but here we go. So the best place to use the mushroom is right here, though. As you can see, though, I'm already leaving myself in the dust, though, but as you can see on the straightaways, I'm doing a pretty decent job keeping up, but you see my Mii character is already doing a good job of keeping up as well, though. And again, the best thing to do is you can cut right here through the water as well, though, over here at Thwomp Ruins. Again, Thwomp Ruins has a lot of interesting places and good spots to use shortcuts as well, though. And on 150cc, you can actually take your chances over here and use this as well, though. But as you can see, though, it's not really too much of a it's not really too viable, though. So honestly, I would probably just get a better drift, though, on that last corner instead of taking that ramp, personally. It's too much of a risk to reward, in my opinion. As you can see, though, my Shy Guy combination is starting to beat my Mii character pretty badly. But, you know, honestly, most of this is just going to be me doing the same paths, though, for the whole 3 laps, but unfortunately, I did forget to delete my Mii character, though, so you guys are actually watching me beat my Mii character, but it's already beaten that ghost by like a couple of seconds, so the only difference being I'll actually show off the cart combination that the Nintendo ghost was using as well. Well, there's a very solid possibility I might lose to my Mii character. You never know. As you can see, though, my Mii character is actually keeping up with me pretty well, though, so they are both very viable combinations. I actually love using both of them, especially the fact that my Mii character can now wear a Sonic suit. It's absolutely fantastic. And also 112 is also asking in the chat room, what's your favorite amiibo suit? My favorite amiibo suit happens to be the Sonic suit, so there you go. Now, as you can see, though, I think my Mii character is going to beat me by a couple of seconds, though. That's alright though. This is mainly still a demonstration to the fact that my Mii character is actually a pretty good combination as well though, because yeah, my Mii character actually has a little bit extra speed though, but you can see where I messed up a little bit on the second lap, as well as the final lap as well though. But we already beat the Ghost though for this level, but I am going to show off what car combination before we move on to the next one. So yeah, if you guys are wondering though, yeah, I beat this Ghost by 8 seconds though originally with my Mii character. This guy is using the standard ATV with the monster tires and the super glider as Donkey Kong. Alright, well that's the Mushroom Cup. Now we are going to tackle the Shell Cup though. I don't feel like I'm going to go new retro as we go down the line though. So we are going to get started with Mario Kart Wii's Moo Moo Meadows. We are racing against Nin Star Chris with the Varmint, Hot Monster, and the Super Glider. Anybody in the chat room right now wondering though, I see a lot of awesome people hanging out in the chat room. I'd like to thank all of you guys for being here. This is being uploaded to YouTube. I am actually doing a recording right now of all 48 tracks, so we are up to the Shell Cup doing Mario Kart Wii's Moo Moo Meadows. And honestly, Moo Moo Meadows is one of those tracks that really got a beautiful overhaul in terms of graphics though. As you can see though, the cows and everything, and it's a beautiful sunset. They did an amazing job though, but this is one time that I'm going to tell you not to take the inside corner, because honestly, your fastest thing is right over here. I'm going to show you one other spot to use a mushroom besides the optimal spot, and that's actually right here though. As you can see, I messed up a little bit over here though, but I actually forgot to use the mushroom in the optimal spot though, but I'm going to show you the best spot to use a mushroom right now though. So as you can see though, on the second lap though, the cows are going to start causing problems though. So what you want to do is use the mushroom right over here and be able to tackle the grass like that though. But yeah, honestly, going off the glider ramp, you get a little bit more speed in the air. And plus it honestly gets you as much over the Monty Moles as possible though. So as you can see though, we're not having any problems though. But this is personally the way I like to go through Moo Moo Meadows. I genuinely don't know if it's the fastest way to do it as well though, but this is my personal fastest route though. It'll guarantee that you'll beat the ghosts, no problem. Honestly, I messed up a little bit there though. Honestly, make sure you don't hit the cows. That might have actually just costed me the ghost. Yeah, that actually costed me the ghost though. And I forgot to get rid of the giveaway timer in the chat room as well though. Again, I actually kind of messed up a little bit though. Again though, there are going to be some courses where that's going to happen though. I was hoping to actually do it all in one shot though, but let me do this again though to actually give you guys a proper run through. If anything, I'll actually fix this in editing as well though. I honestly was not paying attention though. I completely got oblivious to where I should be using the mushroom though, but I'm going to make sure I do it properly now. Honestly, also guys, ignore that giveaway as well. We already gave away the prizes though, and everything in the Mario Kart 8 charity stream though. Which is something I guess I should also talk about though, if you guys didn't already see the update video for that though. Thanks to all you guys, we actually raised over $500 for charity though, which is amazing. Again, you guys are absolutely incredible for helping us raise money for such a good cause though. And I honestly don't know why I'm messing up right now on this track. I really should not be messing up like this over on Moo Moo Meadows. I gotta actually concentrate. Again, Moo Moo Meadows is a pretty good track though, but yeah, I honestly should not be messing up as much as I am. Alright, I'm gonna make sure I pay attention here. Now, as you can see though, on the final lap though, the cows obviously do cause a few problems though. Oh, come on. I don't really want to do this again. Oh, there we go, though. We beat the time trial ghost rat just barely. Alright, but that is how to properly tackle Moo Moo Meadows, though. I honestly think I might have to rethink about how to actually get through Moo Moo Meadows, though, because maybe going on the outside might not be the smartest way. But that's just been the way I've been doing it ever since Mario Kart 8, though. Well, I'm going to go disable the other timer, though. But in the meantime, we are going to be getting started with Mario Kart Super Circuit's very own Romrio Circuit. As you can see, though, this person, Ninstar Ri, has the Yoshi bike with the standard tires and the Super Glider. Pretty decent setup. So, honestly, not too bad, though. And again, though, at this point, we have almost 20 people watching as well, though. And I appreciate you guys, all of you guys that are watching here in the chat room on either Twitch, Beam, or YouTube Gaming, watching me record this live. So, as for Romrio Circuit, though, this is a very simple track as well, though. But, again, this is like one of the first tracks in Mario Kart Super Circuit as well, though. But, again, the fact that they raised it up on a crane ended up really doing an amazing job, though, kind of giving it some new life to it. As you can see, though, there's a lot of optimal spots to cut through the grass and everything. But your best place to use the mushroom in this level actually is right here. Aim for this little crevice right here, then you can use a drift, get that final boost, and get yourself across to the finish line as well. Again, though, this is all being recorded for the next part of my Mario Kart Deluxe guide. But again, I see everybody in the chat room as well, though. I see you, Ultimate Killer, and I also see you as well, Santiago. And Santiago, to answer your question, in order to get the golden tires, you just have to beat the 48 ghosts in 150cc. You do not have to tackle this at 200. As you can see, though, taking the shortcut on that last grass gets a couple of boosts, though. So we're already 5 seconds ahead. We're just blowing this guy away. Again, it's just crazy how much a simple shortcut can do. Also, hitting the brakes right here or taking it a little bit outside to get that boost over there on the way down on that ramp is also very essential as well. But honestly, the glider shortcut on the right side, I see people are mentioning it in the chat room. Honestly, it's a little slower, though, and you're going out of your way to hit it when you can just cut through the grass. But that is my personal fastest way of getting through this. Again, this isn't the definitive guide, though. If you guys have faster routes to go through these levels, though, definitely let me know in the comments section, and definitely let me know in the chat room. But as you can see, we annihilated this ghost. We won by like 6 seconds. I think it was 6 seconds, but yeah, that is Romrio Circuit for Mario Kart Super Circuit. Alright, and now we are going to be tackling Chichi Beach from Mario Kart DS. We got Koopa Troopa Ninstar Massim again, using the Steel Diver Kart with the metal tires and the parachute glider. Now, Chichi Beach, they really did an amazing job with this one, though. I really love the way that this came out, though, like aesthetics-wise. I'm pretty sure I actually messed up on the starting boost, but I'll be alright. Again, though, tackling the inner edges is probably your best bet, though, but your optimal spot for using the mushroom in Chichi Beach actually is right here. That cuts off a really good amount of time. There is actually a second spot to actually use a mushroom if you don't feel like going through the water for that one, but that one's my personal favorite. I'm not going to use it on this lap, but I'll use it on the next one, though. Because I actually am going to probably use it as an opportunity to get coins, though. Even though I'm already going to have the 10 coins right here, though, but even so, though, we're still doing good, though, with the second ahead of the ghost. And yeah, Chichi Beach is a really good course, though, in the Shell Cup. I see some people mentioning the fact that it's there's a remix in Mario & Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games. And I was about to take the mushroom shortcut there, but I gotta show you guys another shortcut. It's not really a shortcut, but it's a good corner cut, though, if you want to get some good seconds off your time, though, with the mushroom. And that is right here, though. This is honestly the second best place to use a mushroom, just to tackle that, though, and immediately just launch off the ramps. But I am going to stick with the going through the water method, though, for the third lap on this. Again, though, you can't go wrong with this course, though. This course is absolutely beautiful, though. The fact that you have the beautiful the whole sunny day on the beach, the water graphics look amazing on this level. This level looks beautiful, honestly. This is like one of the best, most breathtaking levels in the entire game, in my opinion, out of all the retro tracks. As you can see, though, with our little shortcuts there with the mushrooms, though, we are about to successfully take on the next ghost, though, for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. As you can see, though, we still won by 3 seconds, though, and honestly, even if it's just a small amount of time, though, at least we're still beating the ghost, though. We are on our way to getting those golden tires. So, we are about to finish the Shell Cup, one of my personal favorite tracks out of all the retro tracks, though. I always grew up with Mario Kart 64, and honestly, Toad's Turnpike was one of my favorite levels, though, just for the music alone. And of course, we have to have a Toad Ghost for this, though. So, we have Ninstar Alice, using the standard bike, the standard tires, and the parachute. Now, Toad's Turnpike doesn't really have all too many shortcuts, though, because honestly, it's just the Turnpike. It's a simple figure eight, as you guys are going to see by the map, though. But what you want to do at the beginning for this, though, is hold left, and then use your best to drift over here and get some coins, though. But I'm going to show you a really creative way to use the mushroom, though, for this, and that is trying to match your drift, and just do that. Honestly, to me, that's probably the best way to go through this level, though, and using the mushrooms. Again, though, this is more of a track where you have to definitely keep track of the, definitely hug the edges. Again, though, just imagine that your car is chasing the line with the drifts and everything, and you should be good, though. As you can see, though, we got no problems, though. We're rocking that on the Turnpike. And honestly, we don't even need to worry anymore. We already got ourselves the, we already got ourselves our 10 coins. So honestly, we're going to just go right here and boost away. Honestly, I'll even hold it a little bit for that purple drift. Because the purple drifts in this game, if you pull it off, you're basically getting yourselves like a mini mushroom. I mean, look how bad Toad is just getting annihilated right now. Toad is just gone. We're just leaving Toad in the dust. Toad's just taking a leisurely stroll, though. But we got a 9 o'clock job to get to. Freaking Shy Guy's got to get through all this busy traffic. So Shy Guy's just going to rock it out, though. You know, I'll even take a trick off that surfboard. Look at that, 9 seconds ahead, though. Shy Guy's rocking it out. Let's go. As you can see, though, using the mushroom here actually gets rid of the longest turn in the entire track, though. Which is honestly what I prefer doing, though, when it comes to Toad's Turnpike here on the Shell Cup. But they did an amazing job with this level, too, though. The fact that you're surrounded by the forest and everything, and you got a beautiful nighttime setting. And that remix for Toad's Turnpike, though, it's got a nice drum beat to it. But look at that. Toad is just not... There's, like, no chance with Toad. But yeah, as for that, though, we are pretty much done. We are going to beat it in less than a minute and 55. Look at that. He got completely destroyed. 154 to 208. I believe that's like a 14-second difference, I think. Something like that. I'm not good with math. But we're going to upload that, and we are going to be moving on to the Flower Cup now. Alright, we got your Mario Circuit, and of course Mario is going to be the guest here, though, with the Ninstar show. We have all the standard parts, basically. This is the standard kart, standard tires, super glider ghost. But again, if you guys are joining us here in the chat room, this is being recorded for YouTube Gaming and YouTube, though, if you're on Twitch and Beam as well. Right now, I am showing everybody how to get all of the golden parts, though. Or at least the golden tires, though, for this video specifically, though. Yeah, as you can see, though, Mario Circuit's very simple, though. This is going to definitely be about hugging the edges and taking advantage of those purple drifts. As for mushroom shortcuts, you could do this. Honestly, I could do a little bit of a better job on that though, but that's not the place where... Honestly, that's not really the ideal spot to get a mushroom shortcut. But honestly, Mario Circuit's a really good place to practice purple drifting as well though. Because again, it's got so many wide turns though, but it's okay to go a little bit wide on the turns though if you're worried about the piranha plants biting at you as well. But I'm actually going to show you my ideal spot for using a mushroom though. We're already 3 seconds ahead of this ghost. And I see the people right now are asking in the comment section, or the chat room rather at this point, what my favorite Mario Kart game is of all time. Honestly, besides this, I would have to say Mario Kart 64 is my childhood though. Honestly, it had a really good track selection, a really good amount of characters. Really good stuff though. I mainly love the tracks in that game though, but this is the spot where my mushroom is greatly used though. Just tackling that final edge right there, as you can see though. We already shaved off another 3 seconds off our time though using that shortcut. Yeah, as you can see, we got no problems right now. Again though, you could use it right there in the middle of the lap. That's not a bad spot though, but I prefer using it at the end. As you see though, we're going to just keep drifting along though. Honestly, I'm going to be careful, and we're going to drift it out right to here. Take that final flip off the ramp, and we are finished with Mario Circuit. Alright, we are now going to be tackling Toad Harbor. As you can see though, this ghost is kind of weak though. Ninstar Alice beat this in 2 minutes and 30 seconds with the Cat Cruiser, retro off-road tires, and the plane glider as well though. But honestly, Toad Harbor is probably one of my favorite new tracks of this entire game though. It's a beautiful track, it has a beautiful soundtrack to it. And again, we're here by the harbor though, you can't go wrong with that. Again, what you could do is you could use a small mushroom for that though, but I prefer not to. And honestly, even taking that ramp over there for a shortcut isn't really that helpful. Honestly, I find it's just easier to stay on the low ground and just keep coming over here though. But what I do like doing is coming up here though, because that'll get you 2 extra coins right there. And honestly, as much as it's tempting to stay on the walls right here in that section to get all the coins, your best bet is to do this though, and also maybe try to slickly use that drift to get a couple of coins off of the trolley, and then also take a little bit of a wide turn here, and then go over here, and finally use your mushroom right here to end the straightaway as well. Yeah, as you can see though, we're doing pretty alright though, but again, Mario Kart is all about taking the outside corners though, and honestly I messed up a little bit there. Honestly, let's see if we can get a better... Well, we probably can't though, because I already hit the wall though, but... As you can see though, we're handling this no problem though, but Shy Guy's a really good balanced character to use for time trials though, if you're having problems. A lot of people prefer using heavier characters like Morton and Bowser, but I'm personally not about that though. Yeah, as you can see though, we're doing a good job though. But you know, I'll actually use that other mushroom shortcut over here, and see if that does this any better for the final lap. It might, since we end up hitting the edge over there. But we'll see how this goes though. Either way though, I'm not really too worried. Yeah, as you can see though, Shy Guy is just strolling through this town with no problems. And again, you can hold the drift over there to get a purple drift though if you really want to. But yeah, this was Toad Harbor though. We are pretty much done though. As you can see, Toadette's just gone. No problems here, though. As you can see, we won by 8 seconds on that, so we did a pretty good job on that ghost. But as you can see, we are up to Twisted Mansion now. We have Luigi, Nin Star Mark, with the Mach 8, the Slim Tires, and the Super Glider. So pretty good stuff though over there. 112 in the chat room also is saying that Toad Harbor reminds him of Daisy Circuit from Mario Kart Wii. That's a pretty good comparison. Daisy Circuit's actually a pretty good track from that game, but yeah, we are here at Twisted Mansion though. We could take a mushroom through that bookcase, but then you'd be missing out on a prime opportunity for a really good shortcut. Again though, Twisted Mansion's very interesting in the fact that you have 2 pathways. I honestly prefer the left though, because honestly taking the right path, yeah, it's kind of annoying when it comes to this part right here, because as you can see, the other path, you're launching off this thing sideways though. It's honestly hard to dodge the boost though, but as you can see though, aiming for the top rack there is also ideal though, but using a mushroom right here to get that corner cut though is honestly the best way to go. But you know, just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to show you the bookcase shortcut right here. And honestly, against the normal ghost, you could probably handle doing the bookcase shortcut to beat it as well. Honestly, someone else in the chat room is saying that this course reminds them of the Haunted Mansion from Walt Disney World. Yeah, that's pretty good. Or it also reminds you of Luigi's Mansion track from Mario Kart DS as well. Yeah, wow, the bookcase shortcut is actually doing a lot better for us than the other one. Honestly, you know what? Maybe the bookcase shortcut is good for this one. Honestly, just to see if we could beat him by like more than 6 seconds, so I'm gonna take that as a shortcut. But personally, if I had to make a choice though, I'd still use the one at the ending. The one that cuts through the courtyard. Because honestly, that one at least will make sure you beat the ghost at the last second. Again, you just gotta be careful of the boos over there, and definitely be careful of the boos with the hammers here. Because yeah, that will ruin your day if you get smashed by one of those. Yeah, look at that. We did a pretty good job on that one as well, though. And now we come to one of my personal favorites of the Flower Cup, though, Shy Guy Falls. We have Shy Guy himself used by Nin Star Frank with the Flame Rider, off-road tires, and the Super Glider. I'm pretty sure most people probably know where I'm going to go with the optimal shortcut, though, for this level, though. But, yeah, it's a pretty good one, though, otherwise, though. But I love this track. This is probably one of the most creative levels in the entire game, in my opinion. Because not only are you like driving through an awesome canyon though, like, check out this awesome view of the canyon though. As you're driving by, you just see a whole bunch of cliff sides and everything. But the fact that you're driving up and down a waterfall, it's very rare that you can say that about any Mario Kart track. Look at that, you can see the Shy Guys mining for coal and diamonds in the fields. As you're driving down this thing, you can see all the piranha plants planted on the thing. You can see a bird's nest as well though. But right here, you're going to want to take this top ramp right here, though. If you hold down on the control stick at this part, and you swing yourself to the left, you can get a nice little boost there, and then mushroom. Right through here, though. You don't have to do a trick if you're worried about messing up a bit. But that is pretty much my honestly the best shortcut for Shy Guy Falls here. As you can see, though, we could also get a purple drift here as well. Again, though, this is definitely one of the most creative tracks in the game, though. It's one of my top 5 tracks in this game, hands down. That's not even a question. Again, just look at that view though. You can see other parts of the track though as you're driving down the waterfall. That is really epic to me. But yeah, as you can see though, you can swing yourself to the left to prevent yourself from driving into that grass. But as you can see though, we're not having much of a problem though against this thing either. We're winning by 5 seconds. We got no problems though. As long as we keep our steady pace, we are going to be good to go. So Shy Guy's just nailing those tricks like no tomorrow. Also, be sure to hit almost every single boost panel that you see going up that waterfall, because the waterfall does indeed keep you held back from getting up the waterfall though. Over here, it just speeds you up like in Koopa Cave from Mario Kart Wii, which is where I think they got part of the inspiration from for this level, honestly. But again, if you're wondering where the shortcut is, keep track of those 2 rocks pointed at the ground. Make yourself that final turn. And we are officially done tackling the flower cup. For everybody just joining us here in the chat room at this point, we are tackling all the tracks at 150cc. And this is my guide to unlocking the golden tires in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Again, I'd like to thank you guys for hanging out with me if you're watching this live though. And I'd like to thank you guys if you're watching this after the fact. But we are ready to tackle the Banana Cup. And we are at first coming up to one of the tracks that I'm not really a fan of here, and that's Dry Dry Desert. We actually have Peach as the ghost for this track though, Nin Star Maria on the standard bike, slim tires, and the super glider. Honestly though, this track is not one of my personal favorites though. Honestly, this track is a little bland in my opinion. There's some things that made this track really kind of cool in Mario Kart Double Dash that they kind of took out here to make it like kind of meh. Because for starters, this quicksand pit used to house a giant monster in Mario Kart Double Dash. So yeah, the fact they took that out is kind of a bummer. And over here, they actually ended up adding an oasis, which is kind of meh as well though. It's not Dry Dry Desert, now it's like kind of like Wet Dry Desert. But your optimal spot for using a mushroom is actually right here. If you take a drift and then use the mushroom right here to cut through this final section, that is the personal best spot to use a mushroom as well though. And I mean, over here at the beginning, you could technically also use a mushroom to cut through any of these areas with the ramps as well though. Those are not bad ideas though for secondary uses of mushrooms though, if you're doing a regular race with people and you have unlimited mushrooms. But yeah, as you can see though, we're not having too many problems though. Again though, as for this oasis section, you're better off just driving over the water and getting yourself some boost as well though, to get you through everything. But yeah, if you can, also definitely take that final trick ramp. But we're not doing too bad though. We're winning by 4 seconds right now though, so we're just going to keep on tackling those inside drifts. Try to get ourselves a few blue ones and a few orange ones. Honestly, if you really time it right, you could possibly get a purple one. Let's see if I can pull it off. Yeah, you gotta be really good with your drifting though, and be really careful with that though. I would not recommend that. I would recommend maybe trying to stick to the orange ones. Alright, so we're gonna flip over here. Flip over here. Get ready with that boost. But yeah, there we go. That was Dry Dry Desert from Mario Kart Double Dash. But yeah, we pretty much tackled that with 7 seconds to spare. And now we're really going to be going in with the classic course though as well though. We have ourselves Donut Plains 3 from Super Mario Kart. We have Lakitu here with Ninstar Frank going through with the pipe frame monster tires and the Mario Kart TV parafoil. Also, thank you Wendy Okupa in the chat room for subscribing though. Right now I am actually recording all this for YouTube as well though. This is my live stream guide on how to beat all the tracks at 150cc though for the ghosts. But yeah, I don't really like this course in Super Mario Kart, but here I actually like it a lot because there's one part of this level that honestly really pissed me off though back then. And that was this part right here though in Super Mario Kart. You had to hop over this bridge in order to do things though, but over here at least you can come over here and you can hop out over here. If you want, you could also use a mushroom there, but my optimal spot for using a mushroom is actually right here though, because you can just go through this gap right here and just drift your way to the finish line. So we have 1 second over here on the clock though as well though. But yeah, I hate Lakitu though. Lakitu's a pain. Again though, optimally you want to make sure you aim for the you definitely want to make sure you aim for the regular spots though when you if you're trying to tackle that other thing though. That inside drift though, going through the water though at that second turn. As you can see though, we're not doing too bad though. We are rocking it out with 2 seconds to spare though. Now see, that's the way you ideally want to go through this. And again, if you do see the Monty moles though, definitely do tricks off their molehills to get yourself some extra boosts as well though. But yeah, that is Donut Plains 3 though. And again, for everyone hanging out live in the chat room right now though, I see you guys here. I appreciate you guys coming through. I see you, Saber Ghost, Cloudy Mind Gaming, and everybody. But right now I'm actually just live stream recording this for YouTube as well though, showing everybody how to tackle all the tracks in 150cc. This is pretty much my definitive guide on how to beat all the tracks and beat all the ghosts on 150cc. But we are up to one of my favorite tracks from Mario Kart 64, Royal Raceway. We have Nin Star Skip playing as Peach in the Prancer, Wood Tires, and the Peach Parasol. So it's a pretty solid combination. And again, if you guys are wanting to check out a specific course though, feel free to hop through this video and find the track that you're looking for. I might also try to put timestamps in as well though at some point. But fun fact though, if you guys didn't see my Mario Kart 64 playthrough though, I pretty much broke the hell out of this level, because right here you could drive against that wall right there and you could actually use a mushroom and slam into the wall and transport yourself to the bridge. Now, you could use a mushroom to hit that launch ramp as well though, but you'd be missing out a pretty prime opportunity though to get a last minute shortcut though here in the level. Again though, Royal Raceway just looks really beautiful with the cherry blossom petals on the ground and everything as well though. Gives it a really nice aesthetic. And again, this is the spot where a mushroom would definitely be the best opportunity for you. At least in my opinion. But you know, for experimentation purposes though, we are going to see if it's any better though. You guys can be the judges for yourself. So we are going to actually use a mushroom right here though, and do this as well though. And I mean, I can see how that could be properly done as well though. That could be a pretty good shortcut. But yeah, I love the remix that they did with Royal Raceway too though. This is some catchy stuff. And again, I'm going to stick to my guns and only use one mushroom per lap. And you could hold the final drift though and get a little bit of extra boost on that last one. In fact, I might even try to see if I can get a purple drift here. Oh, there you go. That's one way to do it. Yeah, honestly, other than that though, there's not too many other shortcuts to take here on Royal Raceway though. This is a pretty straightforward track, honestly. You don't really have too much to worry about. Again though, if you are missing out on coins though, definitely do yourselves a favor and make sure you grab any coins you need during that glider section, since there's 5 of them everywhere. But yeah, right over here is yeah, that's the end of I definitely ended up beating that goes by a pretty good amount. 112 in the chat room also says, I remember back in Mario Kart 8 when this course was heavily abused by those who fire hopped. Yeah, I'm glad the fire hopping is not a thing in this game though either, though, for anything as well. Cloudy Mind Gaming also is asking right now in the chat, do I think new DLC is coming? Absolutely. I hope we get more racetracks. I hope we definitely get more battle arenas. But it is time for us to tackle the final track of the Banana Cup, being DK Jungle. And appropriately, we have another Donkey Kong Ghost used by Ninstar Ray, using the Varmint Monster Tires and the Waddle Wing. Now, honestly, Donkey Kong Jungle, I honestly have a little bit of trouble figuring out where the best possible spot to use a mushroom here is. But I think if you had to ask me, though, I think there's only one possible spot to use a mushroom here on the track. And that is going to be right over... Well, you guys probably already know where I'm going to go with this, though. One way you could use is using it this way as well. But again, you'd be missing out on a prime opportunity. Because right over here, you could also use a mushroom here, but there's like no point. There's practically no like grass to drive through in order to hit that ramp, though. You could also use a mushroom to get through this turn pretty fast, which I'll demonstrate on the next one. But honestly, for the first lap, at this point, in order to get the final 3 coins, I would honestly recommend taking this outer path, though. I don't really like taking my chances on that inside path as well. That inside path is honestly very, very frustrating, and sometimes I mess up on that. So honestly, if you don't want to take your chances, taking the outside path on that one is fine. Again, you gotta do your best to dodge those tikis from Donkey Kong Country Returns. And again, this stage got a really nice graphical overhaul compared to Mario Kart 7 as well, though. And again, though, during the glider section, if you can nail yourself getting over there as well, that would be pretty cool to do that. But honestly, I like using mushrooms to slingshot myself through corners, though, because honestly, if you're going with the drift, though, you can slingshot yourself through some pretty good corners, though. But yeah, this one might be kind of a close finish, though, because honestly, I'm not the best at this track. Yeah, make sure you do a good boost off the tree. Make sure you try to get a trick off the flower petals as well, though. Again, though, just using the drift will get you the momentum you need in order to hit that glider ramp. And then just use it to bounce off all the different boost pads here. Again, though, nothing really to it. And again, with these tiki idols, or should I say totem poles as well, though. The totem poles may throw you off a little bit, but other than that, though, that is the ghost of Donkey Kong Jungle. I probably barely won that one, though, but Donkey Kong Jungle is not really a track that I like too much. Yeah, we barely won that, actually. I was actually legitimately close. Again, though, you gotta use your card combination that you guys are comfortable with, though. I just happen to be using Shy Guy right now because Shy Guy I'm pretty comfortable with. But with that, we are going on to the Star Cup now. We have Sunshine Airport. We are going to be racing against Rosalina Winstar and Lionel with the Circuit Special, Standard Tires, and the Super Glider. And I see 112 quoting the Donkey Kong 64 rap. DK, Donkey Kong, he's the leader of the bunch. You know him well. And he's finally back to kick Subtail. No, but this is Sunshine Airport, though. Again, this level has a lot of references to some of the other levels in the game, though, which is pretty cool, though. Again, you got a shine sprite on the main sign over there for Sunshine Airport. And your best opportunity to use the mushroom. Honestly, I can't really think of a good other spot for a place to use the mushroom than maybe to use it to slingshot around this final corner. But a good optimal spot would actually be right here, to aim right here. And use the boost though, and be careful with the boxes though. That final cut with the boxes is actually a very dangerous one to use. Well, other than that though, we are just rocking through this airport though. Again, it pays to be inside the plane as well, and we are just gonna rock and run them. But you could also do that as well though for a good little shortcut. But I wouldn't really recommend that one. And again, though, you definitely gotta be careful of those planes, though. But I like the fact that there's like Mario-themed planes in here as well, though. Nintendo should legitimately make their own airline and make those like legit planes, though. But again, you also have Delta references and other stuff as well, though. You got Galaxy Air. I should probably be a little bit more careful considering I hit that wall, though. Now, as you can see, they're loading cargo onto the ship and everything, though, which is really cool. But again, Sunshine Airport's a nice little track as well, though. But there we go, though. We are doing pretty well, though. Actually, I'm going to show you guys how good it is to slingshot around the final corner, though. Again, though, when you're going with the drift and you're going towards the inner edges and you use a mushroom, it doubles your speed, basically. It kind of slingshots you around, though, so... Honestly, that's why I prefer doing that sometimes when it comes to these things. And again, for those joining us, though, I'm not really paying attention to the chat too much. I'm mostly just here to give my tips and tricks, though, for beating 150cc, though, for the time trials. Now we have my girlfriend's actual favorite course, though, Dolphin Shoals. We are going to be racing against Ninstar Skip with the land ship, the wood tires, and the Bowser kite. I see my girlfriend in the chat room. Hello there, dear. Again, though, this is all being recorded live on YouTube, though, in order to give you guys a good perspective of how to beat each of these tracks, though. Now, Dolphin Shoals is one of the most beautiful tracks in the game, though, and I agree with my girlfriend. We both agree that this track is really cool, though, especially the fact that you could drive on top of Giant Eel. And honestly, the Giant Eel is going to be your best bet, though, for getting coins. Although I'm failing miserably, though, getting these coins. Yeah, Ninstar Skip actually has a pretty good amount of acceleration, though, so I might have to be a little careful, though. This one honestly might be a little bit tough to beat, though. Honestly, your best chance, like the Ghost is doing, is to definitely go ahead and use the mushroom right there to cut through that final part. But yeah, I'm going to just definitely keep this simple, though, and try to catch up to this Ghost, though. Again, I might actually end up losing this Ghost. I might have to actually change cart combinations. Yeah, I already kind of messed up, though. The fact that I just had to use a mushroom just to keep up. I think I might have to switch to this might be another level where I might have to change up my cart combination, though, guys. So be prepared, though. This might be a double take. Honestly, she has a lot of acceleration, though, so she can get to her top speed very fast. Right now, I don't think Shy Guy's speed can keep up with it, though. But I know that if Shy Guy can't do it, I know my Mii character should more than be able to handle it. Yeah, I think she's going to beat me, though. Again, though, I didn't promise that this was going to be a perfect run-through, though. That was stupid close, too, nothing for nothing. Alright, let me go back and let me go ahead and race this ghost over my Mii character combination. Again though, this always pays to have more than one card combination though for certain situations. Again though, with my Mii in the Sonic suit, I got a lot more speed now, so I should be able to keep up with her. Again though, these things happen though. You can't do good on every single track though in the first try. You're gonna have problems. You're gonna have failures along the way though. This is my complete raw playthrough though, just to show you that I don't easily win them all though. Even though I have won tournaments in the past, so they haven't been easy. Again though, there's a lot of better Mario Kart players out here though, but I'm glad that you guys are watching, and I appreciate you guys coming to me for advice on Mario Kart though. I'd like to think I have a decent amount of knowledge on Mario Kart to try to help you guys become better kart players. Now, as you can see though, with the extra speed though, my Mii character should be able to hold up though, but it would also help though to try to get as many coins as possible though at this point. As you can see though, my Mii character is going to leave her behind in the dust a little bit now because of the extra speed that we have on my Mii character. It makes it a little bit harder to steer and everything, but honestly, for a little bit of a sacrifice in steering though, we should be okay though. Because honestly, I'm used to my Mii character setup as well though. You could also use a mushroom as well for that. Never mind. This is actually a 3-take. I'm actually getting a little pissed off now a little bit. Alright, let me stop playing around and actually get this. Again though, I don't know why certain card combinations in this game could just keep up well. Still a mystery to me, honestly, though, but also, I don't know why that water pipe is actually also launching me like high in the air either. Honestly, Dolphin Shoals I think is one of the most difficult time trial stages though, honestly. I know that makes sense to the fact that you're using the boost pads on the side though, but I feel like that's kind of a waste. I know, I just have trouble with this track as well though. Like, I love this track, but I also have a hard time with it as well, like doing the time trials. Yeah, I'm probably going to lose again. I'm actually getting really annoyed now. Well, hold on, wait. Hang on. Hey, or not. There we go. That wasn't even a second. Jesus. Screw it. I'm okay with that, though. Again, that took like 3 tries. I'm alright with that, though. I'm going to go back to my Shy Guy combination, though, for the next one. Again, I don't really want to rely on my Mii character setup, though. I like... Shy Guy feels better. Yeah, Dolphin Shoals, though, I think is one of the most hardest ones, though. But Electrodrome, we shouldn't have a problem with. We are racing against Ninstar Yua with the Sport Bike, Monster Tires, and the Super Glider. And yeah, my girlfriend really couldn't handle driving on the eel at first either, though. But Electrodrome is another one of those tracks where it's really, this is a really creative level as well, though. This is also one of my personal favorites, though, in the Star Cup. Honestly, come to think of it, the Star Cup has probably some of the most creative tracks in the game. Alright. Alright, but your ideal spot for the Electrodrome, Let's Kick Shell. The ideal spot is right here, though, to take that good old mushroom through that final drift, that final corner, though, and cut yourself off a few seconds. Again, I think Dolphin Shoals might be the only one I actually struggle with in terms of being the ghost, as well as some of the tracks on the Special Cup, though, minus Rainbow Road. Rainbow Road's going to be easy when we get to that, though, but right now we're on Electrodrome. Honestly, the purple path is definitely the fastest path through the level, though, as well. As you can see, though, the purple path takes you more towards the inside of the level as well, though. Like, at the end here, it definitely gets you easier. It gets you off the ramp before everybody else taking the pink path. Again, though, we're just winning by, like, about a good 5 seconds, though. You could also take a mushroom shortcut through this little bit here at the beginning as well, though, but I really wouldn't recommend it. And also, if you see any of those pinball bumpers, though, definitely hit those as well. Those are ideal. And honestly, this will probably be one of the few courses that I don't get 10 coins for everything, though, but who knows. No, why not? I'll still get the 10 coins, though. Honestly, the faster you can get up to 10 coins, the better, though. But honestly, this ghost is kind of easy. I messed up a little bit. Alright, though, but we have the final level of the Star Cup, though, being Mount Wario. Honestly, a really good level, though, but it's funny enough that Wario's not the ghost here. It's actually Waluigi with Ninstar Arena, using the Duke, Monster Tires, and the Wario Wing. Alright, well, Mount Wario is chock full of shortcuts, though, and many corner cuts as well, though. Honestly, the way I like to get up to 10 coins in this level is to just follow the path here. Right over here, I actually don't mind taking this outside corner in order to grab these as many of those coins as possible. And then, right over here is actually your first corner cut. You're going to want to drift right here and take this ramp right over there and cut off that little corner as well, though, and then get your final 3 coins right over here, though. Alright, now we got our 10 coins, though. Now we're going to come over here to the edge over here, and we are going to launch off this ramp right over here. And again, I know I didn't use all my mushrooms yet, though. I know I said 1 mushroom per lap, though, but this is one of those levels where it's not a 3-lap course. This is 3 sections. We're racing down a mountain right now. We legitimately just jumped out of an airplane, and we are just skiing down the mountain. So our first mushroom shortcut is actually going to be right here in order to take this little gliding ramp through this section right over here. And then you're gonna want to do your best to drift through these trees, though. Right now, you were just basically a soccer goal and using the trees as like field goal posts. And now we gotta slalom down the mountain. Honestly, it's okay to use the brakes here, and it's okay to use blue drifts here. That's the fastest and most efficient way down the mountain. And then here, you're just gonna want to spam the hell out of the jump button to get as many of these ramps as possible. And finally, the final 2 mushrooms are actually going to be used right over here. As we launch out of here, though, we want to hold down. That way we can go up. And we can use this as best as possible, though. So yeah, right now you want to drift through this. And there we go. That is pretty much one of my, that's my best way through it. Yeah, the idea for 3-section courses, by the way, was first done in Mario Kart 7, though, with Woohoo Loop and Maka Woohoo and Rainbow Road on Mario Kart 7, though. Rainbow Road on Mario Kart 7, by the way, is one of my favorite Rainbow Roads as well, though, besides the N64 and SNES. But that was the Star Cup. So now we are on to the Leaf Cup. So we have Wario Stadium from Mario Kart DS, though. And now we actually have a Wario Ghost, being under Nin Star Mizuho, using the Tri-Speeder and the off-road tires in the Wario Wing. Again, I want to thank all of you guys that are watching here in the live stream right now, though. We have 16 people watching on YouTube Gaming. We have 1 person watching on Beam, and I don't know if anyone's really watching on Twitch, sadly. And I messed up that beginning, though, but that's alright, though. Wario Stadium, though, is an interesting track in Mario Kart DS, because this is more like a pit cross. Not pit cross. This is more like an Excitebike type arena, and it's funny that Excitebike arena is actually in this game too. But yeah, as you can see, though, we got great rings of fire as well, though. And honestly, this track is kind of straightforward, though. There's only one real good spot to use a mushroom, and that would be right over here, though. You're gonna want to aim yourself to hit all of these 3 speed ramps. And then you're going to want to take a trick and immediately use the mushroom right over here, though. Yeah, this might actually be an annoying ghost, though, to handle. Never mind, that costed me the race. Again, Wario Stadium, not one of my particular favorites. I don't know if I mentioned that yet, but I don't really like this track all that much. Personally, I think it's kind of bland, and I think we already have enough kind of dirt road type arenas. Honestly, I would have rather seen Wario Stadium from Mario Kart 64 make a comeback. Or Wario Coliseum, rather, from Double Dash. That would have been even nicer. I genuinely don't know why I'm doing that to myself either. That's good. I should probably restart. Now, let me try this again. Alright, so honestly, you definitely want to be careful with these rings of fire, though, because that's what's throwing me off right now, honestly. And again, Nin Star, whatever his name is. Wario is actually a really good character for time trials as well, though, because the heavyweight characters have a lot of speed. This might just be another track where I might have to use my Mii character, though, to beat the ghost. And it looks like he's like overtaking me in speed, though, even with all my 10 coins, though. So I genuinely don't know, though. I might just have to, I may just have to go ahead and, I might just have to go ahead and use my Mii character, though, but honestly, this track is pretty alright, though, but I would have rather seen Wario Coliseum from Double Dash come back. But yeah, there we go. We're actually not doing too bad though. We're actually doing pretty alright. Again, this might just be another ghost that I might just barely win against. Again, you gotta definitely keep your hands under control. I know I just itched myself, but yeah. He's getting pretty close. Yeah, he's right on my tail though. I really hope I can handle this, because honestly, I don't like this track all too much. I just kind of want to be done with this one. Alright, but that is Wario Stadium though for Mario Kart DS. Again though, I don't know why this one was particularly brought back, but yeah, we beat him by less than a second, honestly. That was not one of my best runs though, but honestly my Mii character could probably beat it in a few more seconds though, so I'll probably end up beating it again later though, my Mii character for that one. I think my Mii character probably has a better chance on this one of beating that, but I'm trying to beat them all with Shy Guy if I can. And now we have another one of my girlfriend's personal favorite levels, Sherbet Land from Mario Kart Double Dash. We have Nin Star Fausti with the sneaker cart, the standard tires, and the super glider. Sherbet Land honestly is a very interesting way that they brought this one back though, because yeah, the fact that there's actually a water path that we can take as well though, but it's honestly not that great, the water path. I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, right there you would just drive into there and hope for the best though, but that is not the best way. That actually is like the worst thing to do though, because that'll actually put you way further behind. That's just making you go out of your way to get to here though. So my personal best ideas though for this track are as follows though. Just follow the track as normal. There's honestly not too much with this. There's only one possible way to beat this as well. The best place to use the mushroom is right here though, because then it takes you into a glider ramp, and that's actually pretty fast in and of itself though. Like, look how bad we're already beating Lemmy here. I think that's Lemmy. I don't know though, but for everyone in the chat room right now wondering, beating all the ghosts at 150cc though is how to get the golden tires, and that is what I'm here to teach you guys. I'm here teaching you guys my fastest routes and tips and tricks to beating all the levels in 150cc. And I hope this doesn't just help you in time trials, but also for beating the 150cc cups and even 200. But to everyone watching though, this is being recorded right now, being uploaded live to YouTube though. I see Jaden Johnson's in the chat room right now. What up, Jaden Johnson? I see Full Ammo asking me about how I'll unlock the golden tires, which I just explained. Yeah, as you can see though, we're not having any problems though. We're winning by like 7 seconds. Again though, that water that path in the water is such a waste though. It's not even worth it. As you can see though, there's a ramp right up there on the wall, which is where you would come out of. But honestly, you're just kind of going out of your way though for nothing on that part. Once you have your 10 coins, you're pretty much already at your max speed you could possibly get to. So other than that though, we're pretty much golden and we're good to go. So yeah, we're gonna just take this mushroom shortcut right over here. Take that little glider ramp, and we are going to head over to the finish line. I am pretty confident that we beat this ghost by like 8 seconds at least. Yeah, 11 seconds. Not bad. And what's up, Tech Wiz? And what's up, Jagati? I'm actually trying to get into gigabit internet myself, though. Yeah, that's actually one of the upgrades I'm bringing to my channel. But for those joining me here on the live stream, this is actually being recorded right now for YouTube Game, though. This is my definitive guide to beating all the tracks, though. I'm not really keeping up with the chat too much, but I'm teaching you guys my tips and tricks for beating all the levels on 150cc, though. But we are up to Music Park for Mario Kart 7. We have Nin Star Show with the Bitty Buggies, Standard Tires, and the Super Glider. I'm actually jealous of you, though, Jagai. No joke, though. I really want gigabit internet for myself, though. I'm talking to my parents about it. Because I'm going to have to start putting in more money around the house anyway, though. So if I can get gigabit internet, hell yeah, I'm going to do it. But as for Music Park for Mario Kart 7, this is probably one of the least changed tracks, though. But honestly, the fact that you could do that on a piano, though, and just drive on a bunch of instruments, though, is really awesome, though. Again, we got a xylophone and a keyboard over here as well, though, which is really awesome to see, though. Alright, so your ideal spot to use a mushroom over in this course. It's actually very interesting, though, because honestly, you don't really need a mushroom until the end, though. You could use it through here, though, if you really wanted to. 2, 3. But here's my idea, though. I kind of botched that up a little bit, but that is your ideal way of getting through the final turn, though, for that level. You can use that tambourine to give yourself a nice little speed boost over there and get some proper distance. You could also use a mushroom there, though, but I feel like that's a waste. You're kind of just going out of your way at that point. Alright. And also, if you listen close. 1, 2, 3. I messed up, though. I ran into that, though. I gotta get some more distance. Yeah, as you can see, though, we're still winning by 4 seconds, even with that little bit of a mishap. I'll probably do a better time trial for this later, though, but, you know, honestly, you just gotta be careful here and not stepping in the spotlight, though. So you definitely have to also keep that into account, that it changes every lap over there as well. Well, other than that, though, there's really not too much to this level that's changed, though, from Mario Kart 7. Except it looks a lot nicer, though, with the starry background in the sky. Although these music notes are annoying, though. I'm not gonna lie about that. I hate the music notes here. Look, I messed up on the tambourine. Not going to take my chances. Cut through the grass. And there we go. But that is Music Park from Mario Kart 7, though. Again, though, we won by a good 5 seconds, so not too bad. Alright, now the next level here is, there's a lot of controversy. I'm getting tired of people telling everybody the wrong path to beat this track fast. I'm going to show you the wrong way to go through this level, and I'm going to show you the right way to go through Yoshi's Valley on Mario Kart 64. But we have Ninstar Mark, though. We have him in the Wild Wiggler, Standard Tires, and the Flower Glider. Welcome, Osmo Cosmo. Right now, this is being recorded for YouTube gaming and everything, though. So right now, I am giving my definitive guide to beating all the tracks at 150cc, though. But I swear, there are so many people telling me. I'm going to show you guys that I'm going to show you guys that my path is faster, though. But I love this track from Mario Kart 64, though. Alright, so this is the wrong path to take, though. So a lot of people do this, though. They're telling me that you're supposed to just go across this wooden bridge right here, and then you're supposed to go take a wide turn right over here, though, and just get to the finish right over here, though. That's not the right way, though. In Mario Kart 64, there's so many different ways you can go through this level, though, and I can see how it's confusing and how some people would think that that's the fastest route. But there's a faster route through this level, though, and you're going to probably see it in the time trial settings as well, though, when we finish. Again, just keep in mind that lap 1 is the lap that is messed up, though, and this is the optimal spot to use the mushroom, by the way, that final turn right over there. Now, here's the right way to do this level, though. So what you want to do is take a wide left, and then you want to take a wide right into this thing right over here, though. This loop right over here is definitely the fastest method of getting through the level, though, because look at that, we're already done. How long did it felt like the other way was longer, though. I could be wrong, though. But that is my personal fastest way to get through the level, though, and I've caught up to everybody so fast with my route. So many people have been telling me that my way is the wrong way through this level, though, and I've played Mario Kart 64 a ton in my childhood. You can't tell me that that's not the fastest route, though. But you guys are going to see it though. Lap 2 and lap 3 are going to be faster than lap 1 though. Again though, other than that though, all aside though, I really do love how this level came back though. The fact that we're actually at Yoshi Sanctuary now, and the fact that we're actually in a valley though, with the whole sunset motif and everything though. This level is just gorgeous though, with all the Yoshi eggs and the waterfalls. This is one of my favorite tracks though in Mario Kart 64 though. I used to play this track a lot in the Special Cup. Because you already know that I love that Rainbow Road height. Alright, but again, this is that's the optimal spot to use a mushroom. Now. Alright, I'm going to let you guys see for yourself though. What did I tell you? Don't let anyone fool you into anything different though. Because that path with the wooden bridge takes you out of your way to get to the ending. The route that I just showed you is the optimal way to beat this track. You can't tell me otherwise. That is the fastest route though through Yoshi's Valley though. I know a lot of people are going to be like, no, the wooden bridge is the fastest way. No, that loop will take you to the end of the track, no problem. And again, that's why I'm here showing you guys this as a guide though, but again, I get really annoyed when people are telling me that that wooden shortcut is the fastest way though when it's not. In fact, that's like the worst way to go though, besides taking the long way around. But that is the Leaf Cup. So we are now on the Special Cup here with Cloud Top Cruise. We have Baby Rosalina, Ninstar Maria using the Bitty Buggy, standard tires, and the Super Glider. And I appreciate that Osmo Cosmo saying that, Mike, you are by far the best Mario Kart gamer. I remember watching you at Triforce played Mario Kart 7 on a competition back then. But honestly, Cloud Top Cruise, one of my favorite tracks in this entire game though. Again though, some of the best things to do is to jump across using this Bowser platform as well. And we are going to be doing this as well though. But again, over here you want to make it your business to definitely take all the boost pads as well though. And again, if you see a flash of blue on the track though, that is your key to not go near that panel because it will be shocked with lightning. And this is your ideal mushroom spot, by the way, just doing this. That's it. Because that leaf shortcut is honestly the fastest way through it. Honestly though, I do have another idea though that you could probably do though, but I'm going to get some more coins though. Another ideal way to get through this though, if you're not using it to access a shortcut, this is the best thing you might want to do though. Well, I messed up though, but the idea was to try to use a mushroom to hit the shortcut there. And I completely botched that. Yeah, I might be doing this one over. Yeah, I might actually be doing this one over now because of that. Yeah, I'm losing by 2 seconds. I don't think that's going to be, I don't think I'm going to make it in 2 seconds. I don't think I'm going to catch up 2 seconds of my time because of that. I'm better off just restarting on that. Again, I didn't promise this was going to be a perfect playthrough, though. We all make mistakes sometimes. Again, Cloud Top Cruise is a little bit of a tricky course as well, though. Again, we are in the Special Cup now, though, so I might actually end up having a couple of mistakes here and there, though. But again, just please bear with me, though. You will definitely get all 48 tracks in this video, though, / live stream. Again, though, I'm trying to show you guys the, I would like to show you guys what the, actual thing looks like, the what's it called, what the blue sparks look like before it hits the platforms as well though, but it looks like it's not gonna let me though. Cloud Top Cruise is a really nice track, though. And you know what else, though? You could actually do this as well, though, if you guys need extra coins, though. You're not wrong for taking the alternate path as well, though, if you need that for coins, though. But let's try this again, though. Star, there's a mushroom. I messed up again on that. Also, fun little fact though, you see that the vine coming out of the vine over here at the end actually came out of a question block. And I see Smith Jr. also bringing up a reference in the comment section that this track reminds him of a track from Mario Kart DS though, and he's actually slightly incorrect. He's also slightly correct with that, of course, though, because this track actually reminds me of Sky Garden from Mario Kart Super Circuit, which was actually brought back in Sky Garden on Mario Kart DS. So yeah, there is a track similar to this in Mario Kart DS. But again, you saw those panels, how they flashed blue for a second? That is pretty much your signal to not go near those panels. But other than that, though, that is pretty much your guide to Cloud Top Cruise, though. I know that took an extra try, though. But, not everything is easy, though, especially with the next two tracks in this cup. I beat that by like 2 seconds. Sky Garden was a really great track, though. I love that track from Mario Kart Super Circuit. Anyway, we got Bone Dry Dunes from the Special Cup. We actually have Morton with Ninstar Arena again. We have the Tri-Speeder, the Monster Tires, and the Super Glider. This one may actually require me to do this again with my Mii character. But we are going to try this as best as we possibly can with what we got. So wish me luck on this one, because this one might actually be hard. I actually really hate this track. Again, this track is kind of boring to me too, though. It's like all red and not one of my favorites, though. Quinn977, welcome to the stream, though. This is being recorded live for YouTube. And again, I could have used the mushroom right there on that ramp in the middle, though, but I know a better spot to use a mushroom, though. But right here is the most annoying part of the level. Alright, so we do have the boost over here, and honestly, using that right path to hit all the boosters is ideal. Alright, so we are going to go over here, and your ideal mushroom spot is coming up right over here, though. I honestly mess up with this a lot, though, so yeah, I honestly don't do good with that, but that is the best place to use the mushroom mode to nail that final turn. Because if you try to do that normal turn on its own, you really do have to really struggle to actually get that one done, though. Also, everyone wondering, though, I am still going to be streaming most of the battle mode tonight with Switch and Play New York City, though. I know it's supposed to be starting at 9 o'clock. Right now, it's at 8:15. I'm only on the Special Cup. We have quite a few more tracks, though, so I might be starting the Switch and Play stream a little late, though. I might just not play music, though, for the next one, though. But again, using that right there is the ideal method to get through Bone Dry Dunes. This track is kind of boring, though. I don't really like this track. The only thing that's cool about it is the Toads actually throwing the coins at you. And honestly, I think it would have been really cool if they did like if they made Dry Bowser a ghost on here, since it was DLC. Honestly, I'm not even worried about getting through this, though. But I see some people in the chat room are asking me about adding me on the Switch, though. If you would like to add me on the Switch, though, please join my Discord server. We have our own section where we can add each other as friends on the Switch, though. And again, you should join our Discord. We all talk to each other. We all make a nice community on there. Links in the description below, though. Definitely go check out the Discord. But that was Bone Dry Dunes. In fact, let me just do this for the people in the chat. But we are going to upload that ghost data, and we only have 2 more left until the Rainbow Road height. Honestly, Bone Dry Dunes, I really don't like that one, though. It's honestly a real pain. But, we got that Bowser's Castle, the new Bowser's Castle. Of course, we have that Bowser as a ghost. So we have Nin Star Polly with 221, though, in the Bad Wagon. Standard tires in the Super Glider. And yeah, guys, if you're wondering about the new layout, though, huge thank you to Smith Jr. Black Luigi in the chat room, though. His link is also in the description, though. He made this amazing layout for me, though. Alright. So, Bowser's Castle. This is honestly one of the more frustrating Bowser's Castle on behalf of what is going to come up right over here. This one, I have a feeling I really might need my Mii character for this one, because I struggle with that wrecking ball and the fire and everything. And honestly, I really struggle with this too. Like, you really gotta be careful of the Bowser statue as well, though, because the Bowser statue, honestly, you have no idea how many times it's messed with me, though. But honestly, this is a level where you really gotta keep it careful, though, especially with those fire lava plumes. But right here, that is your best spot to use the mushroom, though, to cut through that last corner, though. But as you can see, though, we're not even a second ahead of Bowser, though. But again, I kind of slipped on the control stick at the beginning of that. I should have a little bit better grip now. But yeah, there we go, though. We are rocking through Bowser's Castle, though, no problems. And honestly, if you see a fist coming down on one side, it doesn't matter here. Just take the side that just got fisted by Bowser. I know that sounded dirty, but yeah, that is the route you want to take, though, because honestly, the struggle is real regardless. Alright, and of course we got that good old shortcut right there. And then again, that's also the best way to dodge all of the it's the best way to dodge all those boulders at the end as well, though. Yeah, I knew that was coming. Again, that wrecking ball throws me off sometimes on Bowser's Castle, though. And good, as you can see, though, he just had thrown down his fist there. But other than that, though, we are doing okay, though. We're still kind of keeping up kind of strong, though. Again, these aren't perfect time trials by any means, though. I know there's a lot better people that really master this game a lot more than me, though. This just happens to be my take, though, on how to tackle these courses, though. But there we go, though. That is Bowser's Castle. Again, though, for everyone wondering, though, this is being recorded right now for the this is being recorded, though, for YouTube gaming right now. I am showing everybody all the tips and tricks to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, though. But guys, it is time for more Rainbow Road Hype. If you guys have not picked up a Rainbow Road Hype t-shirt, that is in the description below, though. In fact, I'm rocking out with it right now, though, the Rainbow Road Hype t-shirt. If you love the hype, nostalgia, and accomplishment that comes with the finale of any Mario Kart game, though, definitely pick yourselves up a Rainbow Road Hype t-shirt. But we have the annoying, the obnoxious Pink Old Peach, Nin Star Mizuo again, using the Comet, the Slim Tires, and the Super Glider. I don't think this is going to take more than one shot, though, but I could be wrong. Now, honestly, Rainbow Road in Mario Kart 8, honestly, is not one of my favorites. This is kind of lackluster for a finale of Mario Kart, in my opinion. But I do understand that they did want to change it up, though. But the music here is amazing. I do gotta admit, though, the blooper ship is a nice touch. And, we also do have, the fact that, there's a lot of really hard turns, though. But, again, though, using the brake is essential here on 200cc, though. And over here in the space station, though, you definitely want to stay on the green path to give yourselves a speed boost. And then come over here always to the right path. And now this next part might scare you guys a little bit, but what I'm going to tell you is to drive off the track. You want to just go straight here. And if you want to, you could also do this. That one takes a little bit of practice to get used to, though, but I'll show you a safer way to do that on the next lap, though. Again, though, that is essential, though. I don't know if it's essential, though, but it's a really good shortcut. Again, you can also hear that I'm hitting the brakes a little bit on those turns though. Cause that is a ridiculously crazy turn though. I really like that turn though. That's like one of my favorite turns in this track though. Yeah, as you can see though, we're just here rocking it out on that Rainbow Road though. Again though, don't be afraid. Just let the road guide you. And then just use, if you use a mushroom and just do this as well though. That's probably the safer the safer route. Again, as you can see though, Pink Gold Peach is a joke right now. She's actually a pretty heavy character, and she actually is pretty viable though, if you have a good setup though, but no one likes Pink Gold Peach. Really obnoxious stuff though, but again though, really good stuff though when it comes to Rainbow Road though. You could also use a mushroom over here in the space station to make this path a little shorter, but honestly, I see no real need for it though. It's not really necessary. With the shortcut I just showed you, you'll cut off way more time than that simple little corner cut. Again though, you just gotta believe in the heart of the track though. You gotta let the rainbow remind you, and then you just go over here and we are good to go. And again, I know that those boost panels on the side roads are tempting though, but I'm telling you, stick to the inside though, and you'll be good though. And I know I do use though a lot in my vocabulary though. I apologize if it's annoying, but it's the only way I'm able to get my points across. But that was Rainbow Road for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe though. The Mario Kart 8 / Mario Kart 8 Deluxe version of Rainbow Road. And now we take on the final Retro Cup of the actual courses though. We have TikTok Clock from Mario Kart DS though. Also, thank you Vintage Flair, and also hello to Mariella Velen in the chat room, as well as Wall FJ. Right now, this is actually all being recorded for, you know, as a guide for beating 150cc, though. I am going to be doing a battle tournament, though, at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, or a little bit after, though, depending on how long this goes. But, yeah, I will be joining Switch and Play in New York City, though. I might just be a little bit late, though, because this might take a while. But we have Ninstar Sophia with the standard bike, monster tires, and super glider. Honestly, though, I don't really know the best place to use a mushroom here, to be honest. There's honestly a lot of interesting spots where you can use a mushroom, though. But we're going to figure it out together, honestly. Alright. Honestly, it's better to you take all the coins that you can on the first lap, though. And yeah, I do use it a lot. I am recognizing that now. But in terms of mushrooms, I'm not sure which is the best route for this track, though. Now, I don't know why Iggy's even the ghost of this track, either. Alright. One idea is that you can use the brakes here and go across this. And maybe just use the mushroom here at the end. I'm not really sure, though, if that's the best route to take, but we'll figure it out, though. You could also do that to jump across, though, but that's not really the idea either. Apparently, that's the best spot for the ghost to use it. I don't know why that would be an ideal spot to use the speed boost as well, but let's just figure this out together, though. Now, honestly, I'm kind of messing up a little bit. But at least I'm not too far behind. We should be able to catch him at the last second. Again, though, thank you all for watching, though, regardless. You know, I'm going to try this. That honestly seems like a pretty viable thing to do, though, is to just take it and just use it to slingshot around the corner. I honestly can't think of a proper way to use a mushroom on this track, though. If you guys have any ideas, though, let me know in the comments section or the chat room, though, if there's any particular spots to use a mushroom. Also, not a lot of people know this, though, but fun fact, this track is actually based on TikTok Clock from Super Mario 64 as well. This is actually based on TikTok Clock from Super Mario 64. I like the fact that this was so well redone though. Everything with the everything with the whole thing with being inside the clock though. It really redid this track in such an amazing way. It's really awesome that you're actually inside the clock for that one. But yeah, that was TikTok Clock. And now we have Piranha Plant Slide from Mario Kart 7. We have Ludwig Ninstar Poly with the jet bike, slim tires, and the super glider. Again though, shout out to all 19 people watching on YouTube as well as the one person that's probably just me on Beam and Twitch. Uh, 112 says he usually uses the mushrooms on that final stretch. But Piranha Plant Slide also got a nice major overhaul. But your best bet is to definitely avoid the Piranha Plant and try to hit that middle section on any of the laps to get a little bit of a cut, as well as get those coins though. Also, fun fact though, the blocks in the ground actually looks like the original blocks from Super Mario Brothers, just updated. Yeah, this is the only annoying section right here with that Piranha Plant. The Piranha Plants honestly really messed me up in this level, to be honest. But your ideal spot to use a mushroom, if you have to pick a spot right here though, because this bush is fake, you can just plow right through it. Either way though, we're still rocking out though with 2 seconds to spare though. Man, I could really get someone drunk though, saying all the amount of times I say though, now that I'm like well aware of it. Yeah, if you guys are playing a drinking game, yeah, you drink every time I freaking say the word though. You'll be drunk and you'll be put in the hospital probably. Now, that's just the way I talk. I can't help it. I have a bad habit of doing that though. Yeah, see, it's really a bad habit. Like even if I'm aware of it, like I always just seem to talk like that. I don't know, when I'm not live streaming, I don't think I do it as much. I think it just happens to be how I am on live stream. But we are rocking it out though on Piranha Plant Slideway. But did I just call it Piranha Plant Slideway? Yeah, Piranha Plant Slide. Also, if you have enough coins though, my best idea would be to drive through the water though, since it speeds you up. Honestly, driving through the water in this level is your best guide to speeding up and taking the ghost at the last minute. Honestly though, I do really find this level pretty obnoxious. I don't really like this level all that much. Especially because that big Piranha Plant. There's so many times where I've gotten eaten by that at the end of the level. And then see, and I thought I freaking, wow, I thought I actually took that off. Yeah, I know I have a lot of Kawaii Desu music as my ringtones on my phone though. I ain't afraid to say it. Yeah, Insidious, you are right. Me saying though all the time is better than me cursing though. I am trying to be a good impression on all audiences. That's why I try not to curse. But that was Piranha Plant Slide for Mario Kart 7. And we are up to Grumble Volcano from Mario Kart Wii. Personally, the worst choice for a retro track in my opinion for this game. We have Ninstar Yuya with the Badwagon off-road tires and the Super Glider. I realize a lot of these ghosts actually use the Super Glider, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, over here for Grumble Volcano though, there's only one real ideal spot to possibly use as a mushroom shortcut. Not much was done with this level, and honestly I'm just not a fan of this aesthetically. This level honestly just more or less like made me upset that Maple Treeway didn't make it back, or any of the other good levels like DK Mountain. Not DK Mountain, DK Summit. There were so many other better choices they could have picked instead of Grumble Volcano. This level is honestly garbage. Like, it's annoying though. I mean, I like the fact that the course falls apart. Ah, I didn't even show a place to use the mushroom shortcut. Welcome, Stephen Hunter. Yeah, there's not really too many good spots to use mushrooms in this level either, honestly. I'm going to show you the best place you could possibly use a mushroom. You could do this. That's one idea. Honestly, I do know a good place to use a mushroom on the final lap, though. The final lap of this level is actually a really interesting thing, though, because now, as you can see, the entire level is falling apart, though, and we do have the volcano crumbling to bits, and a lot of magma and lava is just going everywhere, and it's just insane. But the best place to use a mushroom on the last lap is actually a pretty decent spot. I don't know if I would say interesting. I was about to say interesting. It's not really interesting, but it is a pretty unique way to get to the finish line. It's the only one I can actually think of, though, for this. You can probably see it right now, though, but I really hope I can nail this. Or not. This thing is just going to go ahead and be an annoyance, though. Oh, please don't tell me I'm going to lose this thing. Please don't lose it. I'm actually pissed. Again, that's one other reason why I freaking hate this level. Those stupid freaking fireballs. Screw you. I hate those fireballs. I'm actually legitimately pissed off now that that happened. I want to wrap this up as fast as possible because I know that Switch and Play is counting on me to do the tournament at 9 o'clock. I don't know. Quick question for those in the chat room, though. How do you guys feel about me just doing a part 2, though, and covering all the DLC tracks in a part 2 video? And then just combining all these together, like in two videos? Or you guys just want me to try to just do all 48 now, though, and hopefully that Switch and Play understands. And yeah, you're right. Those things are called Padabos. I hate them. Honestly, here's another good place to use a mushroom, though. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Right there's a pretty good place to use a mushroom as well. Alright, well, we are on the final lap now. I'm going to try not to mess that up, though. But the Padabo really freaking... I hate the Padabos. I really do. Again, this level is just bland. I don't know why this level had to come back. Maple Treeway would have been better. I would have rather had this in Mario Kart 7 to bring Maple Treeway back in a beautiful HD. In fact, the Animal Crossing stage in Autumn freaking is a tease to that. Alright. I'm gonna hopefully take it easy, though, and be careful now with this stupid freaking fireball. Look, there wasn't even a fireball here in the first... Oh, yeah. It does that. No wonder it freaking caught me off guard. I jumped right out of there, right out of the fire, right onto my head. No wonder. But anywho, it happens, though. Again, this is a raw, complete, like... This is a complete raw thing until... You know, this is a complete raw upload of all my attempts at beating the time trial ghost as well, though. But we are at the true Rainbow Road height right now. We have the N64, my favorite all-time version of Rainbow Road from Mario Kart 64. The ghost is Metal Mario with the Ninstar Lionel, using the standard ATV, monster tires, and the Super Glider. And you know, I'm going to just do all 48 tracks, though. I promised that in this one stream, though. So I'm going to just keep going, and I'm just going to immediately jump into, I'm just going to immediately cut this off and immediately, like, get ready and, get the next stream up ASAP. But Mario Kart 64's Rainbow Road here is so amazing, though. They took a nice nod from Double Dash, and now you're above the city. And you can also see in the distance, though, if you look carefully, you can also see that, Toad Harbor is also there as well, though. And of course, you have that train from Super Mario 3D World throwing them coins. And now the chain chomps, instead of falling down the track, they are jumping at you. But the first place to use a mushroom is right here, though, because you know what? It's a good way to slingshot around the track. Then you can just stop in the middle of the loop and get a purple boost. And get yourselves another orange boost as well, though. Again, Rainbow Road 64 is my home, though. This is my track. If there's anyone you should take some notes on from Mario Kart 64's Rainbow Road here, it's definitely me. And now, in order to get through the next part, I'm actually saving the 2 mushrooms for this final lap here. Again, though, this is a very big turn, though, so this is what I like to do. As soon as I start drifting, again, it just slingshots you around that corner, though, when you're drifting into the turns like that. Look how bad I left Metal Mario in the dust. That is how you tackle N64 Rainbow Road. Well, look at that. We did a pretty good job beating that, even without my Mii character. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for the regular tracks of this game. But we still have 16 more tracks. But we still have another 16 tracks to go. And we are about to tackle DLC Pack 1, though. This was in regular Mario Kart 8. And we are starting with Yoshi Circuit from Mario Kart Double Dash. We actually have a red Yoshi from Ninstar Adrian using the B-Dasher, standard tires, and the Super Glider. Smith, thank you for keeping an eye on my Discord, though, by the way. If you guys don't know, we do have a Discord. Yeah, Yoshi Circuit, though. One of my favorite tracks, though, from Mario Kart Double Dash. It's really interesting the fact that they brought this back for the 3rd time, considering it was in Double Dash, the Mario Kart DS, and now here. But, right here, that is your ideal shortcut for the level. Fun fact, there was also another secret shortcut, though, in the original version of this track, where you could actually go over here next to Yoshi's eyeball and launch into a little ramp that would take you out by Yoshi's shell. But they took that out in the Mario Kart DS and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's versions for some reason. And apparently, 1212 in the chat room, also 112 in the chat room, is saying that Yoshi Circuit is Miyamoto's favorite track. So that's really interesting to know. This one I might need my Mii character for, though. Again, another ideal spot to use a mushroom would definitely be the end of the level as well, though. Which is what the red Yoshi seems to be doing. So I'm going to try to get some distance. Again, though, this waterfall shortcut has been a thing in every single iteration of this track as well. But, other than that, though, this track is a lot of fun, though. I love the fact that this track is shaped exactly like Yoshi. The fact that you're racing down Yoshi's body. It was a worthy track to bring back, though, and I'm glad that they did that. Either way, though, we're doing pretty good, though. We're tackling everything with a decent amount. I am going to let my buddies know, though, that I might be a bit. Alright, but we also, we now have Excite Bike Arena, one of my least favorite tracks out of DLC Pack 1. We got Mario under Ninstar Pedro with the standard bike, slim tires, and super glider. Now, the reason why I hate this track is because it's bland. It's an oval. This is basically NASCAR with ramps. That's all this is. This is NASCAR with ramps. This track is so bland and boring. It's not even funny. I don't even like this. What's up, 43 Eyes? Yes, I do. Well, I actually messed up there because of that. Yeah, I do have 4 fingers on my right hand, by the way, because of surgery. I was born with only 4. I was only born with 4 fingers on my right hand with no thumb. So through surgery, the doctor actually moved over my pointer finger, and that's how I have a secondary thumb. Yeah, all this is NASCAR or ramps. Instead of a left turn, though, it's a right turn. They're making a right turn. They're making another right turn. This track is bland as it comes. Yeah, I do like the fact that they do change it up, though. I do like the fact that they do change it up every single time you play the track, though. That I'll give them credit for. But other than that, I'm just not a fan of this. But there is one good spot to use a mushroom, though. And honestly, hitting all the boost panels and everything, depending on where they are. Yeah, that's one thing, though. But right here, that is the best spot to take the mushroom, though. Right there, right before the end of the level. It's not going to get you a very big finish, though, ahead of the Ghost in this lap and everything. But, yeah, you will be able to beat the Ghost with that. I will give it to... Smith is right, though. In the chat room, he's saying this course is... Oh, wait, that's 112 in the chat. 112 is right, though. This course in 200cc is insane, though. But I absolutely hate this track, though, because of the fact that you can get so easily hit with shells. You are such an easy target for shells in this track. It's not even funny. Yeah, as you can see, though, it's really not too much of a deal, though. We're still beating the Mario Ghost by a decent little amount. But yeah, honestly, taking the mushroom cut for here will pretty much guarantee you'll beat the Ghost no problem. I don't even know where the Mario Ghost ended up taking his mushroom shortcuts. Again, I do all my buddies that switch and play understand, though, that I want to get this done, though. But we are Dragon Driftway, one of the new tracks here in the DLC Pack 1, as well as what Excitebike Arena is. We have this annoying person. I hate Lakitu. Screw you, Lakitu. We have Ninstar Mitsu, though, with the Varmint, the Monster Tires, and the Cloud Glider. Now, when it comes to the fact that Dragon Driftway is really frustrating, honestly, this is one of my least favorite tracks in the DLC 1 pack. Interesting concept and everything, but other than that, though, I just don't like these. I don't like this track's turns. In 200cc especially, I know it's not uploaded yet, though, but when you see my 200cc run of this track, you'll see why I got frustrated. But there's so many spots you can use a mushroom, though. Like right there through any of those patches of grass, it could work. But I will show you the ideal spot to use a mushroom, though, in this track. And Brandon Q in the chat room, you're right about that. It does have nice music. I am going to give it that, though. This kind of reminds you of Kung Fu Panda a little bit. Right there, that final little turn is your best spot to use a mushroom. As you can see, though, we're already winning by 3 seconds. And this is why I like using Shy Guy, though. In 200cc, Shy Guy can handle these turns with the brakes no problem. If we were using my Mii character, the handling would be a lot harder and it would be pretty rough. But right now, this is actually not too bad for any of us. So we are going to keep going with this and keep bopping off these little pillars as well, though. Kung Fu Panda is referenced in this level, though, I'm pretty sure. But again, though, taking that final cut is really well, though. Alright, but we do have one more lap to go. But as you can see, the Lakitu is just falling behind, though. is good though. I don't like Lakitu. Screw you, Lakitu. Alright though, we are doing pretty good though. You just gotta get this. Again though, hitting those pillars actually is really good for boosting. Also, I didn't even realize that Panda Swagger was hosting me on Twitch though, so thank you, Panda Swagger. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be a little late on getting the tournament started, though. But if you follow Switch and Play on Facebook and Twitter, though, definitely go follow them and join their tournament before I actually start the live stream. But yeah, we are on to Mute City, though. They actually bought an F-Zero track in this, which is pretty badass. We have Ninstar Laura rocking out with the Blue Falcon, of course, with the roller tires and the Super Glider. Now, honestly, between this and another F-Zero track that we're going to see, the Big Blue track, honestly, these tracks work really well, though, in 200cc. Again, though, if you guys want to follow Switch and Play New York City, though, by the way, they're also in the description. Or I'll put the command in there, !Switch Play. But when it comes to F-Zero, though, getting coins on this track is pretty unique. I also messed up that drift a little bit. Honestly, for your first lap, though, don't even worry about the boosters. Just do this. Sorry, you're gonna pass him again anyway. So yeah, we're good on coins already. Right here is the ideal mushroom shortcut to take this, hop on that, and get on across. So we got that, and now we just have fun playing with all the boosters. What's up, Vignoatic 333 on Beam? Yeah, other than that though, now we're just taking all the boost panels over here as well. We could also use the mushrooms to boost through all of this over here as well. Alright. Just !Switch Play. You don't have to take out the end. You can take out the end. Just !Switch Play if you want to access the command in the chat room. My girlfriend should know how to do it. She's there in the chat room. As you can see, though, now that we're taking the shortcut, though, Mario's just getting destroyed on this track. Again, though, really awesome the fact that they've actually brought F-Zero like tracks into this game. I think that this was definitely long overdue, though, since we were waiting on an F-Zero game. I definitely think that they definitely need to they definitely really need to figure out getting an F-Zero game on the Switch. But there we go, though. That is going to be Mute City. Nothing to it. Yeah, only 3 more cups to go, guys, and we have all the tracks covered. So moving on down, we have Wario's Gold Mine from Mario Kart Wii. Another track that I'm not really a fan of from Mario Kart Wii, though. I think they could have done better with this one too, but we have Ninstar Pit rocking the standard kart, monster tires, and the super glider. I'm trying to think off the top of my head of a good mushroom spot. I think I know the best place to possibly use a mushroom. Oh, we'll see about it, though. Just use it to climb that hill, if anything. And again, the bats don't really cause too much of a problem here, luckily. Uh, 112 says he always uses the mushrooms near the end of the tunnel. Speaking of tunnels, though, you want to follow this path instead, though. Because again, you got a really good amount of boost pounds, and it's a lot faster than taking that other route. Then you can just use this to hop across and get that final boost, though. Honestly, I got a better idea, though, for a mushroom boost. Yeah, that wasn't exactly the best. I could have done that a little better, but I honestly think that might have been slightly better than the other route we just did. Again, Mario Kart's all about experimentation, whether it's with your car parts or trying to find the fastest way through levels. And that legitimately almost knocked me off. Alright, let's use this to slingshot around this corner again, because I actually like that a lot. Again, not a lot of people realize that you can actually use the mushrooms to slingshot across corners. Like, using mushrooms, and if you actually like lean into, if you start tightly going into the turns, you can actually get some really good like speed into the turns. Because when you drift and you're going into the turns, your wheels actually pick up speed. And again, though, this route with the boost panels is the best one to take, though. But yeah, taking that boost across the ramp, the hopping across the ramp like that, is another good boost as well. Alright, guys, we have the final Rainbow Road hype approaching. They actually brought back the original Rainbow Road, though, which is honestly very amazing to me. For some reason, why the hell we have Cat Peach freaking doing this? Anyway, we have Ninstar Ann with the Cat Cruiser, Retro Off-Road Tires, and the Super Glider. 112, though. Rainbow Road is my specialty, though. He's saying in the chat, the next one is SNES Rainbow Road. This one was brutal. Now, we'll see about that. Either way, though, SNES Rainbow Road, they did an amazing job with this track, though. I honestly can't say enough good things about how well this track was redone. But again, though, as you're drifting, you could actually collect 2 coins, though, if you're smart enough with your drifting. And you could use a mushroom to jump across that ramp, though, but I find that's a waste of time, though. You're best off to save your mushrooms for right over here. As we're approaching this final turn, as you can see, there's a beautiful ramp right here in the middle, though, that we could just hop right across, though. And believe it or not, in 200cc, you don't even need a mushroom. You could just hop across that ramp with no problems. But I just love the way that this level was redone. In Mario Kart 7, I don't think they did the best track. They did the best job on it. Mario Kart 7, the track looked bland. They actually gave it a proper revival here, which is amazing. And also, as the Star Thwomps jump down, though, you gotta be careful and remember that the Star Thwomps, you don't have to just get crushed by them. You can just tap them and they knock you out. So, definitely please keep that in mind, though, because those things are a pain. As you can see, though, we're still rocking the rainbow really proper. This is that old school 1992 love that we're seeing right here being brought back. But other than that, though, there's not really too much else to this course, though, other than the fact that in this version of SNES Rainbow Road, though, you have the Rainbow Hills, you got the Star Thwomps, and this track is so gorgeous with the neon, it's not even funny. But there we go, guys. That is SNES Rainbow Road. Yeah, we won that by 2 seconds, though. No problems. Again, though, I hope my buddies over at Switch and Play are alright, though. I hope they don't mind that I'm going to be a little late tonight uploading and getting on the live stream. But we have Ice Outpost. We are going to be racing against Ninstar Pavel with the Tanuki Kart, Monster Tires, and Super Glider. Live, laugh, love in the chat room though. Just make sure Shell Shock knows that I'm gonna be a little late getting on tonight because of doing this. But Ice Outpost, your best route to get through this. I actually hate this track too. This isn't really one of my favorite DLC tracks. I don't like this one either. Yeah, honestly, the green path is your favorite path. The green, honestly, you can take the yellow here to do some cutting though, but in my opinion, the fastest way through this level is the green path. As for a mushroom shortcut though, there really isn't any. So my best opinion would be to do this. You could use a mushroom to jump over that stupid ice ramp, but that thing is such a risky move, it's not even worth it. Either way though, Tanuki Mario, we got some distance on him though, so we're gonna be alright. Keep on hopping across, and we're gonna just keep on going with this. Again though, mushrooms can easily slingshot you around corners though, depending on how well you time things. Again though, look at that, we're 4 seconds ahead though on this track though. We could probably get like a good 6-second lead. Alright, so we're going to hit this. Oh, look at that, no problems. Yeah, for everyone hanging out in the live stream, though, definitely stay close to my YouTube page, because I'm probably going to go live with the battle tournament not too far after. I just gotta make sure I have everything set up though. I'm gonna make it quick though. I already have the thumbnail and everything all set, ready to go. So as soon as this is over, we're gonna be going live for the battle tournament. But the final level of the DLC Pack 1 though for Mario Kart 8 is Hyrule Circuit. Of course, you gotta have a Link Ghost with Nin Star Mitsu with the Master Cycle, Triforce Tires, and Hylian Kite. Now, there's only one proper place to actually use the shortcut here. Honestly, I'm going to collect these rupees first, because this level requires that you collect rupees, not coins. That's right here, though. I kind of messed up on that a bit, but that's alright. Yeah, honestly, this level is very unique in the fact that you're collecting rupees instead of coins, though. And probably one of the coolest parts of this level is right here, though, if I can time this right. I hope I can. By hitting all the stuff, though, you can activate the Master Sword in the middle. And apparently the Ghost is able to do that, but I can't. So that's alright, though. We're still going to catch up, though. Not too bad. And again, you gotta watch out for the plants here, though. They're not piranha plants. They're the plants from Legend of Zelda. But by the way, Smith, you might not want to let people into the tournament yet. It's a different code this week. So yeah, for anyone wondering though, the way to activate the Master Sword, though, I'm going to try to do this properly now. Activating all three of those activates the Master Sword. Yeah, it's not RNG, it's not luck. You have to hit all three of those little panels at the same time. It's pretty much like a dungeon puzzle, which is really cool, though. I like the fact that they added that as a thing, though. Yeah, so far we're rocking it out pretty well, though. We might just barely beat Link, though. This one actually might be a close one. Yeah, honestly, it would be good to activate the Master Sword again, though. I barely hit that. Alright, we're good, though. You know, just time your drifts well and you will be fine. Either way, though, we are good to go, though, with that. We only have 8 more tracks to go, though. 8 more tracks. Yeah, we barely won that by like a second. Either way, we are now tackling the Crossing Cup with one of the most annoying tracks that they brought back, Baby Park. We got Ninstar Juiced with the Bitty Buggy, Standard, and the Super Glider. As you can see, though, this is like kind of... I really wish they wouldn't have freaking had all the guardrails up. That makes this track kind of boring. I honestly could care less about this one. Again, now this is also kind of a tricky one, as the fact that you have to also be careful with the you also gotta be careful with using all the boosts and stuff. So honestly, I'm not gonna use it until like lap 4, not even like lap 5, 6, and 7. I'm honestly not gonna stress it too much. Also, yeah, fun fact in this: there's a freaking baby pink old Peach statue. Why the hell that's a thing, I don't know, though, but I wish it was never spawned. I really don't want to have to redo this one. This is one of the ones I really don't want to have to redo. Yeah, I gotta be really careful now, though. Alright, but here is the spot to use the mushroom, though. That would be right here, though. Using at that final thing will definitely guarantee a good way to get to the finish. I will admit this is a nice touch, of the fact that the rails start glowing neon. But there we go, that was Baby Park. Yeah, I barely won that, though, but I'm okay with that otherwise. Baby Park, not one of my favorites. Again, it's just like NASCAR, but shorter. They're making a right turn. Oh, God, it's another right turn. Another right turn. Another right turn. Spinning on a turn, it's back to back. Spinning on a turn, and the turn gets smacked. Anyway, we got we got Cheeseland from Mario Kart Super Circuit. We're racing an orange Yoshi this time with a Nin Star RSL with the pipe frame monster tires and the parafoil. Nah, that's a good. That's a pretty good idea. That's a pretty good theory that takes place in Peanut Park and Super Mario Sunshine, Baby Park. All right, there's a couple of places we could definitely use a mushroom. We could do this, or we could just completely mess that up and have to redo this over. Nah, I'm not gonna bother with that one. That's not the best shortcut. But that is one of the shortcuts, though. This is probably my least favorite track in this entire game, honestly. I don't know, I may need my Mii character for this one if I'm not careful. Alright, we're gonna head on down here. I could have used the mushroom up there to get to that glider ramp, though, but honestly, the best place to use the mushroom is right over here. Also, welcome, Robert Gaming. For those wondering, this is all being live recorded right now on a live stream for YouTube, though, to show off my definitive guide to beating all the 150cc time trial ghosts. I honestly hate freaking Cheeseland, though. Yeah, as you can see, though, nothing too crazy, though. I'd rather take the long way around, though, and be able to get that last minute shortcut at the end. Freaking those chain chomps make me think that Mario Circuit from Double Dash is going to come back. But there we go, though. Shy Guy is just cutting the cheese. And I mean that in a literal sense. He's cutting the cheese by cutting them corners. But there we go, though. I'm glad that was a one-take round, though, because I hate Cheese Land, honestly. And we did pretty good. We won that by 3 seconds. We now have Wild Woods, though, from... Well, this is a new track. We have Ninstar Akira playing as Villager with the Street Leaf Tires and the Paper Glider. Alright, Wild Woods is a very interesting track, though. This is honestly a really beautiful track as well, though. It's really cool because you're driving up a tree at the beginning of this level as well. So over here, we definitely got to be careful with how we use our mushroom shortcut, though. Honestly, also collecting coins is also good. We're going to be kind of going out of our way a little bit to collect them coins. Honestly, right here, I would recommend just staying in the water, though, because that'll speed you down the tree trunk. Honestly, hitting all these boost panels is ideal as well, though. But our mushroom shortcut comes right over here in the form of launching off that ramp and getting to the finish over here. Honestly, if you don't have to take the outside drift to get those coins, I wouldn't recommend it. I'm just going to keep on going, though, and keep collecting my coins from over here. As you can see, though, we're not having too many problems, though. Also, you can hear the Shy Guys also chanting inside the tree like they did in Shy Guy Falls, which is really cool. Yeah, I don't know why I took a break there, did that. I honestly had a brain fart for a minute there. I kind of forgot where I was driving to. That's alright though, we're already back ahead. Again, I wouldn't call these anything, I wouldn't call these a perfect run through though. And right, I forgot to mention, the Shy Guys also do chant in Wario's Gold Mine as well though. I also forgot to mention that. Thank you for reminding me that 112. But with that though, we are done with Wild Woods. Welcome Ben Heartless on Twitch. Good to see you. Also welcome Hunter Makowski. For those joining us on everything though, we are right now making a guide for how to definitively beat all the tracks at 150cc for time trials. So I've been going through every single track so far, showing off my fastest routes. We are on Animal Crossing. We have the cute Isabel, Ninstar Mary, with the City Tripper, the Slim Tires, and the Paper Glider. But yes, I am doing all the time trials. And Hunter Makowski, thank you for subscribing on YouTube Gaming. Much appreciated. For those wondering, I'm actually triple streaming though on 3 different platforms. So I'm on Twitch, and I'm Beam and YouTube Gaming. Ben Heartless, if you want to join us though, definitely if you want to add me, definitely go ahead and do so by joining our Discord. On Twitch, you should be able to find my Discord and the information, but there's the Animal Crossing level. In this level, you're actually collecting bells. And honestly, this ghost is a little bit easy. But again, there's so many Animal Crossing references, including right here though. Here's Mr. Rossetti. No one likes him though. And I completely lost all of our time that we ended up getting. But if you want to add me on the Switch though, please join the Discord server. I'd rather add people that are hanging out on the Discord server. That way you guys can keep up with future updates to my videos and channels. So it's not hard to make a Discord. It's pretty quick actually. Again though, if you do happen to get summer or spring though, you do kind of get screwed over a little bit in terms of trying to beat the levels. Yeah, I messed up. Alright, but again, when it comes to Animal Crossing though, it seems that the fall version is kind of like my best version though, because that way Mr. Rossetti's not popping out of the hole either. 112 in the chat room is asking right now, what's your favorite stage in this level? What's your favorite season? My favorite season personally for me would have to definitely be the autumn, because it reminds me of Maple Treeway, which should have been a freaking DLC track for this, because they could have made it a thing though, but nope. Alright though, but we're doing alright though. I'm gonna actually get this time hopefully. Alright, I'm gonna join over here. Grab this. There we go. Got those 10 bells though. Oh geez, no, I don't really want to. I really do not want to have to do this track over. Again, you can't really pull off a purple drift anywhere in this level, really. Alright, so we're going to keep on heading over here. There we go, though. Well, with that, we only have one more cup left to go. My girlfriend is in the chat room asking if I need help with anything. I really appreciate it, but I'm alright for now. As long as you told Peter and everything and everybody that I'm going to be a little bit late, then yeah, we should be no longer than like another 20 minutes. But we have Neo Bowser City from Mario Kart 7. We have Nin Star Rui with the Bone Rattler, the metal tires, and the Super Glider. Neo Bowser City is actually one of my personal favorites from Mario Kart 7. Actually, I like this track, especially because you can hear a little bit of Toad's Turnpike in here as well, if you listen closely. And Romrio Circuit from Mario Kart 7 as well. Alright, but anyway, Neo Bowser City, you definitely gotta be careful with this stage because there's a lot of slick water over here, but this is your ideal mushroom spot. I would definitely just use it to cut through that as well, though. You can also do this, though. You can slip through the sign right here and actually use that. That's a little bit of a cut as well, though, but depending on how you feel about it, some people find it as a hit, some people find it as a miss. If I have the time, I'll definitely take it, though, because it definitely helps a little bit. It cuts a few turns out of your overall lap. And we're going to keep rocking it over here. Again, using the brakes here on 200cc is pretty much mandatory. Again, though, this is the finale of DLC Pack 2, though. Again, we got some good tracks, though, in the Super Bell Cup. Again, though, you gotta be careful, though, because of that. And I forgot to actually use the thing, though. Also, here's another mushroom shortcut. I don't know why I didn't remember that. That's another good mushroom shortcut right there. Well, see, since I forgot, I'll just do that. As you can see, though, Dry Bowser is just, like, taking the L pretty well, though. Alright, so we're going to take this over here. And we are good to go. Alright, we have Mario Kart Super Circuit's Ribbon Road. We are racing the female village in Ninstar Gulia. We have the Teddy Buggy, the button tires, and the Super Glider. Very appropriate for this track because this track is amazing. I used to love this track back in Mario Kart Super Circuit, and I'm so glad that this track actually came back. Believe it or not, this track actually takes place in a child's bedroom. As you can see, there's the track in the background right there, though. You can see that this is a build-in play set. You got the Toads from Mario and Donkey Kong. And yeah, you can see all sorts of references all around the room, which is pretty crazy. Though you can see the boomerang right there. You can see Yoshi's Dice Party. You can see Yoshi as a Yarn Amiibo. You can see some of the carts on top of the shelves, though, which is kind of nuts. And here you're passing through Rosalina's castle. Again, Baby Mario's on the cover, but there's the light blue Yarn Yoshi. This level is just chock full of references, though. Like, there's a Mario Kart right there. And of course you have Koopa's Clown Car trying to stop you. But the ideal place to use a mushroom would be right over here. But as you can see, though, we are rocking it out pretty well, though. Again, the village is also keeping up with us pretty well, but yeah, it's not too much of a big deal. Again, though, making sure you get up to 10 coins is ideal, though. And again, you could also take those ramps that are on the side, but honestly, they are more likely going to hinder you rather than help. I'm just okay with just taking the track most of the way. Take this. Oh yeah, how could I also forget that there's Mecha Koopas from Super Mario World running around on the track as well, though, right over here in Bowser's little portion here. Yeah, you can see those are Mecha Koopas like stomping in the middle of the track, which is pretty cool. I love Ribbon Road's music, though. Do I wish they could have kind of kept it to a normal tempo from Mario Kart Super Circuit? Absolutely, but I like this little cool beach-style remix that they gave to it. And again, a really amazing way that they revamped the track, though. As soon as I saw this was part of the DLC Pack 2, though, I was very hype about it. Again, we only have 2 more tracks left to go, though, guys. We have Super Bell Subway, one of the new tracks. Oh, we have a Pink Shy Guy, Ninstar Juliet, with the City Tripper, the Slim Tires, and the Super Glider. Alright, so, as we're making our way through this, we are pretty much going to be good to go. Again, though, you just gotta be really careful with the subway trains, though. But taking these alternate ramps and everything is just not necessary. Over here, you can just definitely tell that it's a lot easier to just go through all these levels as normal right over here. Again, they're the faster routes. But then you can come up these stairs and actually take this ramp, which will help you out climbing the stairs. And our ideal mushroom spot is actually going to be right over here to cut through this little last patch of grass and get you to the finish line. In fact, look, we did so well on that first lap, though. We were already 8 seconds ahead. And honestly, if the New York subway was like this would be a pretty cool subway. At least it'd be better than how dirty our actual subway is. At least they keep things clean down here. And again, there's a lot of Mario references here too, though. There's also a 1-2 mural on the wall as well, though. You can see all the murals of Mario. There's even a Mario Kart 8 advertisement on the wall, which is pretty crazy. As you can see, though, we're rocking it out, though. No problem, though. We got 9 seconds left. Yeah, I slipped up a little bit there because of the trains, though. Yeah, I like the fact they got regular Mario Kart 8 advertised. I wonder if they would have changed that to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Either way, though, that is Super Bell Subway. Also, welcome, Titus. For those of you that are just joining us now, we are at the tail end of my definitive 48 track guide to beating all the 150cc time trial ghosts and unlocking one of the golden parts. In fact, we are on the very final track of the game. Big Blue from F-Zero. Possibly one of the best DLC tracks I've ever been having the pleasure to play. We got Mario, aka Ninstar Dylan, with the P-Wing, the blue standard tires, and the Super Glider. Now, the fact that he's using the P-Wing is really crazy because the P-Wing is a really good car. That's honestly why I love using it, though. The P-Wing is a really beast car. But Big Blue is such an amazing track, though, especially the music. Now, this track, honestly, what I would recommend at the beginning is definitely stay on the edges, though, and collect them 10 coins, though. That's alright, though. You're going to catch back up right now, though, because here's what you want to do. See, even the ghost knows. But you can also do this as well. And see, Hero used 2 of his mushrooms. Now, we got this covered. Alright, well, here's another little quick shortcut that you can take, though. You can actually hop across. And don't worry, though. I know we're a little bit far behind, though, but our way to catch up is going to come at the very, very last minute on the track. I love the fact that they put that reference in here as well, though. The fact that they had the F-Zero announcer going off, going, yeah, well, final lap. Either way, though, we are already caught up to him, though. We don't have no problems here, but we are going to have some fun jumping around the tracks now, though. And our last 2 mushroom boosts are going to be here and here. And with that, we have beaten all 48 ghosts here in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Now, when you have beaten your final time trial ghost, we should be good to go, and you should have... Well, hold on. It's got to upload the final ghost data. If we quit, it should say at the title screen... You have beaten the Staff Ghost on every course in 150cc. A new vehicle customization option has been unlocked. So we are going to go and wrap up. We're going to go into that versus race. We're going to be Shy Guy again, but look what we got. we got ourselves them fancy golden tires. And I already unlocked the golden glider yesterday as well, though, so... Yeah, right now, as it stands, though, this is how it is with the golden parts, though, so far. We don't know I don't know about the gold standard cart, but we're going to be doing that at some point. But yeah, I really do hope that you guys have been able to figure out some new tactics. I do hope that you guys have also learned some good tricks and shortcuts, though, in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. For those that are live on the stream right now here on YouTube, please stay tuned. I'm going to be immediately going right back online for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe again, doing the battle mode with my buddies over at Switch and Play New York City. I know I'm a little late, though, for that. I know the tournament already started half an hour ago, and I'm probably going to lose. But, yeah, that is pretty much it, though. I really do hope you guys learned something. Again, if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely hit that like button. Definitely leave a comment down below if you guys have any other tips and tricks for good cart setups and also good shortcuts in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Also, please please check out my other Mario Kart 8 Deluxe videos as well. And if you didn't buy a Rainbow Road Hype t-shirt, please also check it out as well. Links in the description as well as my Facebook, Twitter, and Discord. Follow me down there. Again, thank you guys as always for watching. And until next video, my fellow Monster Gamers, take care.